you want to have your life ignited, go to igniteamerica.com.
There is no lack in God. There is nothing that God is looking for, nothing that He needs.
Here is Jonathan Griffiths with today's Moment of Truth.
When you and I build something or buy something or take on a great project, we always do those things out of a sense of desire or a sense of need. Now, because that is always true for us, we're always responding to want or need, because that's always true for us and for those around us, we just naturally assume, I think, that the same must be true for God. We assume that He made the world because He needed something. Maybe He was lonely, maybe He was bored, maybe, and we're more likely to hear this one and repeat this one, maybe He needed an outlet for His love or an opportunity to display His glory. So He made humanity for that purpose. Maybe there was some unfulfilled need or lack in God that caused Him to create. I think we often assume that to be the case on some level. And many Christians will say things along those lines. Well, God has good plans and purposes for humanity and for His creation. But here's the crucial truth. God did not need the world. God did not need us. He did not create in order to plug some gap of insufficiency within Himself, to address some lack that He had, to meet some need. And so for me to hear the Bible tell me that the creation is not about me, that God didn't make me because He couldn't imagine the universe without me, to hear these things is, I think, very offensive to our Western ear. Well, it may be offensive, but I do think it is the soul medicine we desperately need.
That's Jonathan Griffiths with today's Moment of Truth. To learn more, visit encounterthetruth.org.
Hey guys, it's us, your hosts of the Car Seat Questions podcast, Eddie and Lauren.
Does God love everyone, including Satan? Why do you and I look different? Do you love Jesus more than me? Have you ever heard tough questions from the backseat?
Tune in to the Car Seat Questions podcast every Wednesday to hear a new conversation answering those questions and more. Find us wherever podcasts are available.
Serving Sandusky, Cuyahoga, and Ashtabula counties, and beyond. This is Moody Radio Cleveland, WCRF Cleveland, WVMS Sandusky, WVML Millersburg, WVMN Newcastle, WVME Meadville, WVMU Ashtabula, or stream us anywhere with the Moody Radio app, other streaming services, and at moodyradio.org/Cleveland.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is signing a new order regarding medical patients' immigration status. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Ron Eastwood, Moody Radio News. Yesterday, Abbott announced Texas hospitals will be required to collect and report information on patients' citizenship. The executive order will likely be challenged by human rights advocates. The pursuit of a suspected stolen SUV ended up in an officer-involved shooting yesterday in Maple Heights. Bedford police were chasing the suspect vehicle when officers were able to stop the suspect. Police say 2 armed men exited the vehicle and a Bedford officer opened fire, hitting one of them. And Republicans have announced their choice to replace Anthony DeVitas on Summit County Council. The District 8 Republicans stepped down earlier this week. The Summit County Republican Party has selected Joseph Casion to fill that spot. I'll be right back with sports and weather.
Counseling. It's what God created you to do. When you earn your Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling from Moody Bible Institute, you'll be equipped to help others become who God created them to be. Study at Moody's Chicago or Michigan campus, where you can secure certificates in the areas of marriage, family, and couples counseling, as well as trauma-informed counseling. Learn more and get started on your counseling career today. Go to moody.edu/counseling.
In sports, the Pirates dropped a close one to the Padres, 7-6. And week 1 of the NFL preseason is upon us. The Steelers kick off against the Texans at home tonight. Meantime, the Browns will start from home tomorrow night against the Packers. And the U.S. now has 103 total medals, including a competition-leading 30 gold at the Paris Olympics. China is second in the medal count with 73 total, 29 of them gold, and host nation France is third with 54 total medals. Here's your Moody Radio Cleveland forecast. A beach hazard statement is in effect from this evening through late Saturday night. We'll see patchy fog early, then cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms this morning, becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. It's going to be humid, though, with highs around 80 degrees. At last check, cloudy and 75 in Cleveland, cloudy and 72 in Akron and Canton, light rain in Lorain, Elyria, where it's 73 degrees.
It's time for your Moron Moment.
Tropical Storm Debbie is affecting our weather, and you may remember Debbies of the past. It turns out that NOAA reuses storm names every 6 years. That is, until one is particularly devastating. As of 2024, 96 storm names have been retired, starting with Carol in 1954 and most recently Ian in September of 2022. Fortunately, none of our Mornings with Brian team names are listed, but our engineer Alan did make the list. And that's your Moron Moment. And you'll find that on our Facebook and Instagram. It's 6:03. With Moody Radio News, I'm Ron Eastwood.
Broadcasting live from the Bob Devine studio, it's Mornings with Brian. Want to join the conversation? Call or text now at 440-546-2255. It's Mornings with Brian.
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
It's 6:07 here on WCRF. It's a follow-up Friday, kinda, because we don't have as much to follow up on this week.
Yeah.
We were very busy.
Yeah. We didn't talk about much.
No, I mean,
we talked about a lot, same hours, but not different things.
That's perfectly articulated.
Thank you.
But to make it more lovely, why not bring back for the second time this week everyone's favorite woman in Northeast Ohio?
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Whoa!
I'm gonna take that, but
I had to crank it up. We already had you on this week.
I know, but to be fair, I actually heard you say someone was more awesome than me on Tuesday when I was still in your presence. So I'm gonna take it, but I'm not really gonna believe it.
Linda.
Your boss? What, you're going to disagree with that?
I mean, not out loud in front of her, but she's not in the room now.
Is she an early riser?
Well, she comes here at 6:30, so she must be. Her normal
I was
time
gonna
is
say
6:30.
we saw her in heels and all.
Yes, she was ready to
fancied up at
go
6:30 the
at
other day
6:30.
when we were not.
Oh no.
You want to revise your statement yet, or
That she's cooler than me?
yeah?
No, I'm saying you just called me the coolest woman, and you.
Well, I didn't mention how I didn't bring up the tie part. You're tied with a number of other women, including
a number now.
Oh,
See,
wow.
Well, it's a tie.
getting far and far less.
number.
It's a
Awesome.
tie.
And see, Jamie,
Dana
Sarah,
Eastwood, my
Dana,
wife,
Mimi,
you.
me, Daria.
Yeah.
It's
Basically,
just-
every woman I know and respect, you're all tied for best.
Thank you. So that
Not to deflate
clarifies
you at all.
greatly.
Feels like a hollow victory.
Just wanted,
Here she is, Jaime Buxton from
Thank
City Mission.
you. Woohoo!
You
My
never
own
know when
woohoo.
she's cheering or whether it's recorded. You just never know.
You don't. That's
It's kind of like the old TV commercial. Is it live or is it Memorex?
nobody knows that, Rob.
Really? None of you? It's that old?
Well, I mean, I'm familiar with Memorex, but
Okay. It was, they would record,
vaguely.
Somebody like a Sandy Patty who could sing really high and shatter glass.
Oh.
And then they would play the tape, the cassette tape of her recorded on Memorex tape.
Right.
And it would shatter the glass. And so then the question was, is it live or is it Memorex?
Memorex tape was glass?
No.
They're using it to shatter glass.
It was shatter glass.
I was like,
It was just
what?
a recording. Yeah.
Understood.
No, two things from that. Number one, I could always predict the end of a Sandy Patty song.
Yes.
They had to
Did it
go
go
the same.
up and up and up.
It would
Oh.
be in the stratosphere of highness is where it would be. Now, the other thing I would say is that yesterday I felt the same way as you do right now, Ron. Lauren was describing to me this ancient professor at Moody.
He is.
That's like elderly, legitimately.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great.
I was there 10 years ago, and he was elderly 10 years ago.
And she described how he used this as if it was a quill pen and papyrus.
At the time, it was.
She described him using an overhead projector and these things these clear things you put out. I go, transparencies?
No,
Yeah.
listen.
I used those when I was teaching.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. I knew what they were. I just couldn't pull the name from my brain.
Well, no, and this is not a picking on you thing. This is a...
Oh, really?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
No.
This is a... I was sitting here listening to you describe this antiquated way of teaching
Yes.
that I legitimately used when I was an early teacher. I'm the one that convinced our school district that rather than replace the wall maps,
Yeah.
which were
Like
outrageously
400
expensive.
of them all wrapped up in there? Yeah.
Yeah, one of those where you
Yeah.
have to learn how to fold it properly.
Yeah,
We had those.
Why did they have those in every classroom? I don't remember ever using those.
No.
Well, they had them because they purchased them originally. They didn't throw them away.
Sure.
But, many of the classrooms that I taught in early 2000s still had the Soviet Union
Yeah.
on those maps.
Yeah.
Like-
And there's big portions of Africa or South America that have changed.
Right.
Oh, sure.
The countries fight and they change their name and
So
stuff.
we barely used them,
Well, when I'm in college from 2011 to 2014, and we're using smart desks, and he's using an overhead projector, it's like, hey,
That is definitely startling. But when I heard that, I was like, wow, I really am old because I would
go
type
and wipe
out
them down.
something.
You use the Expo spray and clean them off.
I couldn't handwrite on overhead projectors.
Because you're left-handed.
Because I'm
and
left-handed.
it'd get all squidgy.
Yeah, it was a thing. Plus, my handwriting's terrible.
So you'd print on the clear sheet.
You print it on a piece of
Right.
paper, and then you go to the copy machine, and there's a special way, which I've forgotten now,
Oh, yeah.
where you actually print it onto a transparency, we call it. And you teach that way. But I convinced the school district that rather than replace the maps, which were very, very expensive, the same cost as a, LCD projector. I was like, hey, guys, guess what? I bet we could project maps and use it for other things. And it took a while.
Other things.
It took a while, but they were like, you know what? Maybe this is edgy. Maybe we should do this. And we did.
Way to go, Brian.
You're welcome.
Saving the taxpayers tons of money.
You're welcome, Robbinsdale area schools on the north side of Minneapolis. And now it's like, kids bring projectors, I'm sure. You can buy them on like Amazon. I bet your kids have them, Jaime Buxton.
No, we don't have any projectors at my house.
Just because you don't want them, probably.
Yeah.
They're not expensive anymore.
We got enough stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
The stuff.
I was on a rampage yesterday. When you get in those moods and you're just like, I don't want any of these things in this house anymore. I'm throwing away every item that we own.
Sarah gets in those moods. I don't get in those moods.
Yeah. I've been in it for like 3 weeks.
Yes.
God bless Sean Buxton. It's like almost like I was nesting, and no, I'm not making any announcements. But I'm like, what is wrong?
Yeah, you're just clearing out.
What happened is baseball season ended, and football's not in full gear. So I'm like, let's redo the boys' room. Let's undo the closets. Let's clean the carpet.
I think it's a gender difference because I've never felt that way.
Eddie came down from working in his office, and I was like starting dinner, and I was like just really on the verge. And he was like, what's going on? And I was like, there's just too much stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Is that what you
Yes.
I actually said, the house is caving in on me.
You did?
I did.
Yes.
So what did we get rid of?
Well, Trey has these little, like, someone gifted him these, it's like you could do like word searches or like seek and find where like you circle the things, whatever. There's like 12 of them, and they're expo where like you can like dry erase them off. And he doesn't use them. They just get strewn about the house. And there's so many of them. And they're probably the size of like 2 folders side by side. They're huge. And they're just strewn about the house. And then Ellis will try to crawl on him. He slips because they're slippery. And they're gone. They're gone.
You just can't even.
Yes.
I get it. So what did you do? Did you finally get rid of them?
Yeah, I got rid of those.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other stuff.
How did Eddie respond when you said there's just too much stuff?
He was like, okay.
Watch out, buddy. I'm coming for your shoes
Yeah,
next.
Exactly. Keep those things in the closet, otherwise they're getting trashed.
Sarah used to do that to my stuff. And I had this sweatshirt that was so comfortable.
But it was raggedy.
It had vents in the cuffs, is what
Actual
I called
vents
them.
Or,
It had developed holes in the cuffs.
Not like the ones that you're supposed to actually put your thumb through. Mm-hmm.
But, oh boy, did I love that sweatshirt. She threw it out, and I just about died. I tried not to bring it up, but I just did. So
you're fighting all weekend now.
Well, I don't like to throw things out. Jaime Buxton, what was caving in on you?
Oh my gosh. Well, the little boy's room, they share a room, and it's just 5 bags of clothes donated.
5, yeah.
And at
You're
least 3 garbage bags of just like junk.
Like toys that are broken, and it's just like this random part that you don't need anymore. Like the spout of a truck that got ripped off, and it's just like been being put back in the toy bin over and over again. No.
Yep.
No.
So
What
do you
else?
yell what Sarah yells? She'll yell out to the kids. She'll go, all this stuff down here.
All
if
of it.
anything's left, I'm donating it.
That's right.
And so, like,
all of it.
I
you
know,
have
mine's
10
worse
minutes.
than that.
Yours
I was like, well, get up here now. We're cleaning it up. It's got to go.
Yeah, it's got to go.
Waited long enough.
Wow.
Stuffed animals. That was a big one. There were actual tears shed over that. I was like,
You're making them cry. Good.
I was like,
There you
little
go.
boys, 6 each. And
That's a good amount.
the baby was fine with that plan. The next one up was not. And he was like, 6. And then the
You don't
baby
even
gave
like
up
these.
more.
Oh, they're
You
all
don't even
named.
touch them.
They're
They
named.
don't.
You don't touch these toys. Ever.
I mean, here's the saddest thing. My baby is almost 9. And he was still sleeping on the trundle bed underneath of their bunk beds because they had too many stuffed animals that were on it. So
Totally.
we've
Gotta go.
elevated
Gotta
Gideon
go.
to the top bunk
Ooh.
and dwindled down the stuffed animals that now hang in like a hammocky thing for
Right.
stuffed animals.
Wow.
It was the greatest purchase of my life.
Oh, yeah.
And see, Ron, have you ever said to yourself, I just must get rid of all the things? Mr.
I don't think I have.
Okay, I was going to remind you were hesitating. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, you had a pile of Wi-Fi routers on the floor.
Right. I did get rid of them. Yep. They've been recycled at Staples.
Good job, Ron.
My wife, when she gets in this mood, she uses the giant black opaque trash bags.
Yep.
Because if she has some that I can see through at all, then I'll be like, wait, is that, and there's always some reason I need that thing. But
There's no questioning once it's in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, what we do is we put them in garbage bags, and then they move into, like, by the door for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go into the trunk for a week or two.
Yeah.
Until we need to go somewhere. And then they go out of the trunk and, like, onto the ground for a day or two.
Yeah. Yes.
And then they go
So
back in the
real.
trunk, and we go, we have to donate these things.
This is so real.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I have
Yeah.
a bag of clothes, of baby clothes that I'm sending to a friend. So I sorted through all of it. She told me the stuff she wanted, and it's just been sitting in that bag.
Yeah.
I have to send it.
See,
Just
I
sitting there.
guess here's the key. Sean cleaned the garage after me. I'm not even going to say asking. It was nagging. It's been like, I cannot pull into this garage again and see these shoes everywhere. Or I'm
Shoes.
going to die. And he was like, okay. And so he spent like 2 weekends on the garage. It was pretty bad. So when I started all the bags of stuff, they did immediately go to the places they needed to go. But only because he had just done the garage.
Yeah, it takes extreme circumstances for that. Wow, it's amazing how similar life experiences can be. Ron was over there. I think he's triggered. He feels like he should clean the garage.
No. That's a feeling that does not hit me.
All right, it's 6:18. Time for a quick break. We'll come back with more. We got Follow-Up Friday. Jaime Buxton from City Mission is here.
Mm-hmm.
We could follow up on things. I wasn't here Monday. You guys talked about stuff. We could follow up on that. Maybe you got stuff from the Olympics you want to bring up or a personal issue. Jamie and Lauren in particular love giving you advice in your personal life.
But yet no one ever calls in and asks for it.
But today could
we
be
should
the day.
take a hint.
Today could be the day. 440-546-2255.
Mental health needs are skyrocketing. Therapists and psychiatrists can't meet all the demands. Sadly, people in a mental health crisis often find themselves in a spiritual crisis as well. Pastors and ministry leaders want to help, but often don't know how. The Mental Health and the Church Conference, September 26 and 27, 2024, at Bay Presbyterian Church in Cleveland, Ohio, will give ministry leaders tools and resources to support the mental health needs of their congregations and communities. Learn more or register at keyministry.org.
Moody Radio is thankful for support from listeners and businesses like Deerfield Ag Services. They help in adaptation of new technologies and techniques of farm and business management. More information about Deerfield Ag and how they can help is at deerfieldagservices.com.
You want your children to know the Bible and to know Jesus in a personal way. And we'd love to help with Today in the Word Family Studies. This month we study the book of Job, helping you answer hard questions like, why does God allow bad things to happen? It's a great help to teach complex themes. Get your Today in the Word devotional and download the free Go Along Family Study at todayintheword.com. Spend time in God's Word together.
Keeping your eyes on Jesus in a changing culture can be difficult. Let us help. It's Mornings with Brian on Moody Radio, Cleveland.
6:20. Certainly thinking of and encouraging you to pray for all the communities that were impacted by the storms the last couple of days. I'm still cleaning up my place, but that's the least of it. We had roads closed in the Garrettsville area for a long time. There's flooding in some communities, so check on your neighbor. You know, check on your neighbor. It can be a real rough time for sure. In studio with us, Jaime Buxton for a Follow-Up Friday. Yay!
Woohoo! That was a real one.
Yeah. And I think we're live streaming today.
We are.
You can gaze on all the loveliness that is Ron and me, and you can see the ladies too. 440-546-2255. Text the word live to that number. Thanks to everyone who gave to our 48 Hours of Impact campaign. Your generosity will certainly help some students at Moody Bible Institute get launched into the front lines of evangelism without student debt. We're so grateful for that. Also thankful for the school supplies that were just a huge success. that was Tuesday we did that?
Yep.
Tuesday at Laura's home. Jamie was there.
I was there. So amazing. I
have
response.
more boxes to send with you today.
I saw that.
Yes.
It's
I'll
fun
take 'em.
when you build on an event like we did it the first time last year. It was a good start.
Yep.
I would say it's double the supplies this year.
Easily, if not more.
You think so?
I do.
Now, you all at Laura's home are going through some issues with power and such too, huh? I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
Well, honestly, since I work from home, I wasn't totally aware, if I'm honest. But yeah, Tuesday night, those storms knocked out our power. So yeah, we've had no power at Laura's home since then, and kind of in crisis mode. We've had to push back our back to school bash to next week. Yeah, some of our ladies have found alternative housing for a couple of days, staying with family members or friends, because it's hot and it's a little hard living in community with no power.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our station manager was out of power in the Bedford area until yesterday.
Yep.
Looks like North Olmsted is still out, portions of North Olmsted. People are texting in about that. It's brutal. You got to check on your neighbors. I had one time years ago where on my block, my side of the street was out. The side of the street across the street was fine. How that works, I don't have any idea. But I ended up running extension cords across the street to my neighbor's house just to get my fridge plugged in. And he was gracious enough to allow it. So check on your neighbors and such. And my wife said that she'd pull up to a gas station and it was full of people filling gas cans.
Well, here's something
Yep.
I didn't know yesterday is, we're trying to keep food cold. And so ice, there's like no ice on that side of town. I had no idea. I'm like, well, I live in Macedonia. There's ice. I can do this. They were we had staff members driving to Stowe to get ice yesterday.
Whoa. Wow. Well, and then you think about on the opposite end of things, you've got all these folks working for the power companies and cities and municipalities putting in insane hours.
Yeah.
Trying to get power restored.
Yeah.
Our engineer, Alan's son, is a lineman, and he's been pulling some crazy shifts, poor guy.
Oh, wow.
And we've learned that when you hear someone say, I'm a lineman, it could be a football player. It also could be a guy that literally climbs power line poles. And his son was out for a day.
I think I could be misremembering. Did he say he had a 24-hour shift or something close to that?
Something like that.
The first night that the storm struck.
And then they let him sleep for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Well, just 6. And then it was back up on the power lines.
And you can imagine how normally you'd be kind of groggy from lack of sleep. But the job you're doing is very critical. It could kill you, literally.
Yeah.
So pray for these guys.
Meanwhile, I was a little cranky because I didn't get a nap in. And you just kind of go, wow, Brian.
You had to cut a tree off your fence.
First world problems here. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the, I live off of a state highway, and, you might think that's horrible, but in circumstances like this, power company works real hard on some state highways that are main thoroughfares for power to make sure there's no trees that will fall on power lines. And so our neighbor across the street said they've only lost power once in 15 years, and it was for 10 minutes.
Wow.
So there are advantages in living off of a state highway.
Yeah.
But boy, we are certainly thinking of you and praying for you in the difficulty. Our station manager said, what did he say he was doing? He was just eating by candlelight, pretending it's romantic.
Yes.
No, that was their neighbor.
No, it's one of our employees, Mike
It was
Reynolds.
Mike's neighbor.
His neighbor said she was showering by candlelight, and that was romantic. Is it? It's probably a cold shower.
It's probably a cold shower.
Yeah.
Cold shower by candlelight sounds
great.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Sounds like the missions field.
Yeah, it does. But I don't. So, and this is going to transition to one of the topics I wanted to discuss, because there was an interesting article from Relevant Magazine talking about dates that are cheap. But I always worry about when you talk with going on dates, and it's usually women who are more persnickety about the type of date.
All right. Be careful now.
Well, I mean, Ron, are you difficult to please?
No, not at all.
Like, you could give him a bowl of cereal in the backyard and hang out with his wife, and he'd be a happy camper.
Yeah, I love cereal.
Dana might be like, really? A bowl of cereal, Ron? You couldn't, make a steak for me? Do you even care about me anymore? Ron?
That's probably pretty accurate.
Deanna's the best.
I know she's the best. She doesn't put up with anything. And so I'm just trying to figure out, is candlelight, is that romantic? Ladies?
Like, it's been so long that I've had candle.
Did Sean ever do that? Sean Buxton, maybe when you met him in Bolivia or wherever you were?
Belize.
Belize?
Close.
Bogota?
No, candles. You know, one year, I think our first Christmas together, he and a friend, they created a double date for us where they made us a really fancy meal. There were candles, and they had purchased actual linen, like, placemats for Christmas, and then they took us to go see the lights.
Aw.
But
Was that
that
great?
would have been 19 years ago.
But I mean, was that like,
Oh, that was sweet. Yeah.
candles, how romantic. My man lit candles for me.
There were candles and, yep. Sure. Mm-hmm.
See, you're not selling me on that, Lauren. I don't know that you're a candle gal, candlelight dinner gal.
No, I think the last time Eddie lit candles was when he proposed.
Oh, he had a whole bunch lit for that, right?
Yeah.
But that was romantic.
Yeah, it was.
So what's romantic for the Quavi?
The Quavi.
At this point in our life,
A shirt without spit up?
Yes, this season, clean clothes, a shower.
But like
I
when
don't
you guys
stink.
were first married, what's romantic? A romantic Friday night?
We like to go out to eat to like a nicer restaurant.
A restaurant.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not like a typical one, but a little bit nicer.
But if you showed up today for lunch and Eddie had candles lit at the table, would you be like, oh?
Well, yeah, because I know he was like making an effort, but it doesn't mean that I need that for it to be romantic or to be special.
Okay.
It would be special because I know that that was his intention behind it, not just because there's candles. The candles don't make it romantic. Does that make sense?
No, it
It's
doesn't.
the thought.
But,
It's the thought behind the candles, not the candles themselves.
but the thought doesn't exist without the candle.
Well, if he would have brought anything up for her, and planned out a
that's
meal,
right.
that the thought matters.
Well-
It doesn't matter if it's candles or flashlights or.
But it's thought paired with action because if he says to you, hey, Lauren, I thought about lighting some candles for us for this meal. Isn't that romantic? It's not the thought. It's the action. You can't just think about it and not do it.
Doing something, like setting aside time to do something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I could have a candle just in my house because I want the smell. That doesn't mean, oh, I'm in a romantic mood because there's a candle in the bathroom. It's not the candles.
Yes, placement of the candles is important in this scenario.
Yes, Sarah found a candle that Dollar General sells that smells just like a really expensive one from Bath and Body Works or something. She's going to every Dollar General she can find, and she's buying them all.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm picturing that, Daria, you're Jimmy. We know he carries you to the car every
Yes,
morning.
exactly.
He's
Puts on our
probably
socks.
got a candle while he does that.
No.
As he recites you a poem he wrote that morning.
No.
Are candles romantic, though? I bet he does candles for you.
I like scented candles, but we don't really light candles for dinner or anything like that. I don't think we've ever done that.
If the power was out, though,
Oh, sure.
Could
But
be
yeah,
a
but
romantic
that's
little thing.
necessity, not romance.
I heard this one time that, kids don't like to stay at the tables. I heard if you light a candle, kids will stay at the table.
You should try it.
I should try it. Because they think it's novel and fun, so they're sitting there all excited.
Meanwhile, they try to blow it out the whole time. And then they...
Because they think it's a birthday.
Sarah gets mad because they push their fingers in the wax and they ruin the candle. And yeah. Try it. I don't know if that's going to work for you.
I'll try it.
I have kids who like lighting candles because they like fire, which is equally as disconcerting.
Oh, yeah, no, my nephew is a big fire guy. Very scary.
Yeah, it's very
scary.
Can I light candles? No, you can't. Where's the lighter?
Yeah,
Not
we were at a birthday party, a child's birthday party, and there was what are they called? Candle warmer. So it wasn't a flame. Trey, fingers into it, wax all over his fingers.
Dude,
of course.
Come on.
Like a handful. And he was just terrified. He had no idea. He didn't know what it was. He's like, look at this.
That's what little boys do is they need to smash their hand into things like that, right? Right, Jaime Buxton?
I mean, yeah, but I have a candle warmer, and I can't say a Buxton boy has done that yet.
Yeah.
We got a Himalayan
There's still time.
salt lamp.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We couldn't get the kids to stop licking it.
You're kidding me.
We told them it's salt, and they're just walking by.
I shouldn't have told them.
Stop licking the lamp.
This is so gross.
It's 6:32. Time for a quick break. We'll come back with more. There's ideas from Relevant Magazine. 7 date ideas that are so cheap, even Dave Ramsey would approve. Is what they call this. I'm just never convinced I understand what makes a good date. Okay?
Depends on your spouse.
Well, but we've got lots of women here, so...
You're a spouse too, so...
Right, but again, not to be sexist, but I don't know that men care all that much about what the date is. Ron?
Nope.
Do you ever go, Dana, tonight was nice, but I'd like you to try harder next time. Put in a little more effort to make me feel valued.
But also, you and Ron are not every man that's ever existed. I think some men care.
I'm sure that some men do, but I'm just talking generalities here, overall statistics. What are you thinking? It's equal? Equal number of men are more difficult to please when it comes to dates?
Not when it comes to dates.
So in that category, it may be more of a woman is difficult to please.
I don't know. I only know myself, so.
Ron? You're going to just leave me sitting here?
Well, she only knows herself.
He does this to me.
No, you do it to yourself. Got him.
Eastwood. It's 6:33. We got more coming up in just a minute.
I'm John Kersey, and this is Pause for Prayer. The Apostle Paul warns us about peer pressure. In Ephesians 5:11 and 12, he writes, "Don't take part in doing those worthless things that are done in the dark. Instead, show how wrong they are. It is disgusting to even talk about what is done in the dark." But it's all too common today. A person posts a mean comment about another on social media. They gossip about others. They decry classmates or coworkers. That's not Christ-like. Let's stand up to the negative peer pressure in our society as we pray today. Father God, you remind us in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 that we should not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Assist us to seek and to keep good company. We ask for the Holy Spirit to be present and more active in our every action, Lord. Remind us to check out our hearts when those around us are pushing us toward situations that could damage our character. Help us always ask a key question. Are we seeking affirmation of others, or are we instead honoring God with our actions? Jesus, we humbly also ask for your help in resisting peer pressure by seeking the support of others. May we look for fellowship with and advice from other believers. May we carry each other's burdens, and in that way we can fulfill the law of Christ, as Paul tells us in the book of Galatians. May we also turn to Proverbs for advice anytime we're being tempted by peer pressure. Proverbs 11:14 reminds us that where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in a multitude of counselors there is safety. Help us to be on guard in every situation where we're tempted to go with the pack or say or do something which doesn't honor you. May all we do honor you, Lord Jesus. We pray this in Christ's name. Amen.
As a Moody Radio listener, you value biblical truth and wisdom, including stewardship, which requires intentionality. If you're 70 and a half or older and have a traditional IRA, you can wisely invest in this gospel ministry through a qualified charitable distribution or QCD gift, which could reduce your tax liability and meet your RMD requirements too. Learn more at moodylegacy.org/QCD. We explain it all at moodylegacy.org/QCD. Thanks for partnering in the gospel with Moody.
Are you looking for candid conversation from a biblical perspective? You found it. It's Mornings with Brian on Moody Radio Cleveland.
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
641 WCRF. It's Follow Up Friday, 440-546-2255. We can talk about whatever it is that you want to chat about. And here to help us is Jaime Buxton from City Mission.
Woohoo! That was so sad.
Well, I clapped.
That's better.
So it's Follow Up Friday. One of the stories I wanted to chat about is from Relevant Magazine. And they have a bunch of cheap date ideas, and I want to evaluate it with the crowd, Ron's included, although guaranteed Ron likes all of them. I mean, if you get to spend time with Dana, you're a happy camper.
That's true.
So I'd like to know from the ladies if this legitimately qualifies as oh, I would enjoy that date. Now, again, it's not just females would agree. This group of women, I'm wondering. Okay. A carless drive-in is the first one. As in, you get a little projector, a DVD player, a blanket, and some bug spray. Imagine Jimmy taking you back next to the magnolia tree, projected out on the wall. You hold hands and watch a movie outside while the couch is empty inside.
It sounds nice, but Jimmy really has a thing with mosquitoes, and I feel most people don't have projectors. By the time you get a projector, there goes your cheap part of your date.
See? There goes your idea that everybody has projectors.
Well, but let's just say you got home today, Jaime Buxton, and Sean says to you, "Hey, honey, surprise, I got us a projector. We're going to sit outside together, and we're going to watch a movie up against the house."
I would love this date.
You would? Okay. Why?
But I think I honestly like it because Sean would never do this.
That's why
and so it's like, oh, that would be really nice. But I think it only sounds enticing because he would never, ever in a million years do that.
If he's listening, though, watch out. He's going to do it, and you're going to have to start weeping and enjoy it a lot.
I would love it. I actually have been jealous of a friend who just recently got a projector, and they're doing all kinds of fun stuff outside with their family.
I feel like this only works, though, if you have a lot of space between your neighbors, too. Otherwise, you're going to bother them. Our houses are very close, so I feel like I'd be worried I'm bothering people.
Lauren, if Eddie was like, the kids are asleep, guess what? Got us a projector. Let's go outside.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
I didn't ask if it sounded fun. Is that a nice date, romantic?
Yes.
You would enjoy that?
Yeah.
Oh. Eddie.
Sounds like somebody needs to buy a projector and start sharing it with friends. It's a real ministry opportunity.
Yeah, my wife took a couple of the kids to Minnesota recently, which I know sounds like they drove. I don't know why they did this. I didn't join them. And they tried to do this, or go outside and watch something with my brother-in-law and my in-laws. And the mosquitoes were so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Sophia's still suffering.
Oh, yes.
I just don't know how this works out.
I went outside for 10 minutes the other day, and I got 4 on my legs.
Yeah,
I'm never going outside again.
I don't know if you're like me, Ron, where you go, we could sit outside. The sound wouldn't be quite as good. The visual wouldn't be quite as good. Or we could just go to the couch where we are every night, and we could watch there, and that would be fun. But it's the different that makes it a good date, right?
Yeah, I would say that.
Because you had to think about
different
it.
Does make
intention.
It better.
My neighbor used to have, he's moved to Texas now for his job, but when he was allowed to live here in Ohio, he had a projector and would shine the movie against his garage door and invite several families from the neighborhoods. And we just fun. Drag our chairs across the street and we'd watch. And it was okay. I'm sure it wasn't as high definition as the TV would have been, but it was good enough. I could see that it was Spider-Man swinging his web from building to building.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah. Or the kids' baseball team, the Smalls. And,
Sandlot.
Yeah, the Sandlot.
How about this one? Spend an evening at the library.
Wah, wah, for me.
Yeah.
And here, I'll give you the summary of it. They would say, Sean Buxton would look at you, Jamie, and go, "Babe, let's go to the library, and I'm going to take you down memory lane. We're going to go look at books I loved, and I'm going to read you quotes from my favorite books, and it's going to be romantic."
Nope. Not for me, but I'm sure it's for someone.
Daria loves to read.
See, for me, going to the library is a solo thing. That's my quiet time. However, though, so we are in a a really old house in a historic neighborhood, and so we're really interested in like the history of the neighborhood and the house. So I walked to the local branch of the library and chatted with some ladies there, and they said that the downtown branch actually has records on our house. So we're actually planning on going to the downtown branch and doing some research on that.
That's cool.
It's cute and nerdy all at the same time. And I actually think it sounds super fun.
Yeah, we're going to go do that on a weekend.
I've thought about it because we have a big stone in our yard that has a surname carved into it and a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's there. It's not a headstone. Don't worry.
Yeah, we actually found some tucked in the recess behind a built-in bookshelf. There was like a picture of like a veteran, like from World War I or World War II. So we're like, who is this person? We maybe want to give the picture back to the family if they're still around.
Oh, so cute. Lauren?
Not for me.
No library? So if Eddie said, hey, babe, let's go to the library.
He would never.
And, but if he did, you'd say, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'd say, oh, no, thank you. Can we do something else?
Well, that's sweet. That's sweet how you said that. It sounds like Sarah
no, thank
might,
you.
Sarah
no, thank
might
you.
laugh.
Can we do something else?
You'd be like, well, how would you
I don't know.
You'd be sassy, I bet.
I would be like,
You'd be like, Sean, go alone. I'm not doing that.
No, it'd probably be worse than that. But
All right, 6:47. There's a couple more to try out here because many of you can't do anything this evening because your power's out or something. But what are some date ideas you have that could be fun? 6:47, 440-546-2255.
Moody Radio is thankful for listeners and support from businesses like Duma Meats and Farm Market. Duma Meats and Farm Market supporting Moody Radio in Cleveland and surrounding areas. More information about Duma Meats and Farm Market is at dumameats.com.
Pastors have to make tons of decisions, including what to do to meet healthcare needs for themselves and their staff. Christian Healthcare Ministries specializes in making healthcare decisions easy and affordable. Not insurance, but a health cost sharing ministry for over 40 years. CHM opens the door for individuals, families, and yes, pastors to be a part of a biblical way to meet medical bills. Get more information and answers to your questions at chministries.org/Moody. That's chministries.org/Moody.
How exciting if God calls you to missionary aviation. Moody Bible Institute offers the Missionary Aviation Technology degree with a maintenance specialist emphasis. It includes engine overhaul, airframe rebuild, turbine engine maintenance and repair, avionics systems installation, and much more. Get started on your application today at moody.edu/aviation. Over 65 years of missionary aviation training. What an exciting way to serve God. moody.edu/aviation.
Bringing Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania closer to
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
6:52, you probably heard of CeCe Winans and BB Winans. BB and CeCe were big in the 80s, Ron. Remember that? And then there's Marvin. That was Juan.
Marvin and Carvin and Daniel.
Was Juan?
Juan. Sorry, I said Juan. Like, it's not Obi-Wan. Juan with a J.
Juan.
Yeah. Juan Winans. Okay, we're trying to evaluate with the ladies here on Mornings with Brian, WCRF. We got Jaime Buxton from City Mission. There's some date ideas from Relevant Magazine. People don't have power right now. Maybe they have to get creative, go places. Maybe you just want to spice things up.
Or
try to decide if these are good ideas. They're
expensive.
cheap, too.
Yeah. Life's expensive right now, so it's cheap.
Yeah, cheap. Life's very expensive right now. How about this one? Go to the zoo.
I love the zoo, but that's not necessarily cheap.
Depends on the
it
zoo.
is not.
Yeah.
No.
Is it cheap around here? I don't know that I've been to the zoos here. Because I remember in Chicago, Lincoln Park Zoo was free. So Sarah went there all the time.
Yeah.
So it's comparable, in my opinion, to the Columbus Zoo. And I'm not, like, the Cleveland Zoo is great. I'm not saying I hate it, but the Columbus Zoo is a lot bigger and the price is about the same.
Akron Zoo, I think it's $17.
That's not terrible.
You know, you can go to the library and check out a pass to the zoo.
Yes.
That's right.
Wait
I
a
forgot
minute.
about
Stop
that.
that. What?
Yeah, that's why libraries are great, Brian. So I got to get a library card.
I thought you didn't want to go to the library.
For a date, going to the library to get stuff versus a date is different.
So if Eddie went to the library to get a free pass to the zoo and wanted to take you there,
Sure.
you'd be like,
resourceful.
"Oh, Eddie, come over here. Let's snuggle."
I'm not going to snuggle at the zoo.
Would you hold hands?
No.
She is not a public display of
My
affection kind of
hands
girl, I can tell.
get so swollen in the heat. Remember last year when Eddie called my hands Mickey Mouse gloves?
Aww.
Okay.
Eddie gets away with stuff that no other man on earth could do.
Yeah.
They were like Mickey Mouse gloves. That's what my hands looked like.
Yeah.
Poor Eddie.
Jimmy and I actually got engaged at the zoo.
Oh.
That is so cute. In front of what animal?
It was a Christmas lights display, and it was in front of the big pond.
I was going to say, you want to make sure you make the right choice there. I don't
Yeah,
know
the
what,
cute animals, yeah.
Okay, that's the right choice. I didn't know what
That's
the right
what I
choice
would
would
want.
be.
The cute animals.
No, it's the strength of a lion. Our marriage will be the strength of a lion. No, but you want it by what? Like a
penguins.
A penguin.
The penguins stink, though.
They do.
No, but
Really,
it's
I
nice
love
and-
penguins. They
It's
stink.
so true.
It's nice and cool, so your hands won't be enormous.
Yeah.
It was
So that's
wintertime
good.
when we did it.
Are you going to the zoo for a date?
Well, you know, this is Sean's dream date, okay?
Aw.
Like
He's a birder.
He's a birder. He loves the zoo. So
You sound
we
so
have-
annoyed.
sometimes I'm like, how are we married? Because we do not like the same things. Sean loves the zoo. He like truly gets sad when he'll be like, boys, let's go to the zoo. And they're like, no way. And he's like, I'd really just like
Have
to
you
go
been
to
to the Akron Zoo?
Of course.
They have that bird place where you can walk in and the birds are just flying around. Very fun.
I'm sure Jamie knows all about that.
I know all about the zoo.
So you would do this date for Sean?
I would do this date for Sean.
That's right.
Much like when I go birding on
For Sean.
International Bird Migration Weekend and pretend
Yes,
to love it.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Which is a real day. You didn't know this, but you just found out.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy who could hear a chirp and go, "Oh, that's the
Guys,
red-bellied
When we were
bluebird."
dating, you know, you get into my car and you hear awesome music. You get into Sean's car and you hear, that is the double-crested blueberry hutch. I just
Blueberry-backed bird.
So he's listening to bird sounds.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my
He
gosh.
had CDs of bird sounds so that when he does go birding, he could be like, I hear it. Now we can't leave this area till we see it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how birding works.
Well, sometimes. Or you make this noise. Psh, 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 psh,
And they just like come out?
and they come out. Of,
Why?
I don't know.
But she knows.
I know. That's what
She
I
knows the
do. That's
noise.
my job.
Yes.
I
very
walk
good.
a little ahead and go psh, 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 and they come out. And Sean marks it in his little notebook.
Oh, he's got a notebook.
That's so nice.
Of course there's a notebook, Brian. When you go on International Bird Migration Weekend, they have a notebook for you with the birds that you can expect to see.
See, I've always said this, and yet again it's proven true. Nerds make great husbands.
Yes.
Yes.
But you have no ability to hide your inner feelings. You're kind of like Lauren. Like Lauren's face reveals, if you watch the live stream, you know exactly how Lauren feels about things. It sounds like it kind of hurts if he asked you to go to the zoo for a date.
Maybe.
That's a yes, if I ever heard one.
But I would do it.
Yes, because you do things for your husband because you love him. And he likes
Exactly.
it, so we'll do that.
Like Sean hates to be around people. That's our whole life. So I have to give in once in a while and go birding.
That's right.
He married an extrovert.
Funny how the Lord does that.
He knew.
He brings opposites together in many ways.
Yeah.
Although you and Eddie are fairly similar, aren't you?
Yeah.
But you do have opposite qualities in some way, Lauren.
Like what?
I'm
are
asking
you
you.
Are you talking about like things we like or?
Well, you're very similar. I'm just trying to figure out if opposites attract in the Quavi family.
Well, I'm not any type of artistic, and he is very much so.
There it is.
Musically, he can draw stuff. He can do math.
Again, just like you have that combination where he can look at his wife, a real man person can look at his wife and say, "Wow, your hands look like Mickey Mouse gloves," and you'll think it's amusing.
Yeah, because it is. Because it's true.
Every other wife will burst into tears and ask to go to marriage counseling. Ron?
Yes. Burst into tears, grab the credit card, and head off shopping.
It's funny because it's true. They did look like Mickey Mouse gloves. I guess another difference is he's a little bit more thoughtful. Not in like, well, I guess that way too, but he takes longer to think through things. And I'm just like, oh, here's my answer. I know right away my answer. Where he would like some time to think through things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember our friend Kathleen, who used to host the show with me. She liked to make decisions like yesterday.
Yes.
And Nathan took about 12 years.
Yes, exactly.
And
I
she
have
would
to
be
ask.
so annoyed.
I have to ask so far in advance and then just like really work on my patience.
See, you are opposites then. It's fine. Stargazing.
That's a lot of fun.
It is.
Jamie doesn't seem inspired by anything yet. Would you be inspired by stargazing? There's no birds.
I would go
Birds are
stargazing.
sleeping.
Birds.
I would go stargazing.
Sounds nice.
I mean, you get bored after about 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a long one.
You don't. I mean, if you drive someplace where you can really see the stars, it's just breathtaking. You don't want to look away. I've got really fond memories of going stargazing with my family.
Maybe we just live in too saturated of areas.
Yeah, no, you can't just like go into your backyard and do this. Like you have to drive where it's like you have to look at the light pollution maps and figure out where you're going.
But don't you have to know stuff?
No, you just look.
Look,
Open your eyeballs.
It's Aquarius or
No,
whatever.
you just look.
The age of Aquarius.
No, you just look?
You just look.
You just look.
For how long?
As long as you want. I'm content to stay out there for a while.
I'm kind of bored already, like even thinking about it. I mean, it's beautiful, but I just go, wow, look at that. Huh.
Bring a long pillow where you can both put your heads on it.
Ron.
There you go, Ron.
That sounds romantic, Ron.
Look at you.
Have you done that?
No, but that's how I'm picturing it.
Yeah,
well,
that's
now
a
you
great
can.
idea.
You should take Dana.
That is so cute.
Would she like that?
She probably would. The fact that I thought enough to put some effort into something, she'd be so surprised.
The other one is go to a museum or historical site.
You're the one that reads all the plaques. Why don't you like that?
Oh, no. See, I would love it.
Yeah.
But Sarah,
but Sarah wouldn't like it.
She would not like it because I read all the plaques. Like, if you go to, we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before we lived here, came on a little trip to Cleveland, and she was done in about 15 minutes. You know, she just needs to walk by and gaze at things, and I need to stop at every display and read.
That's how Sean is at the zoo, for the record.
That is so cute. I like museums. We went to London in 2021, like our first trip after we had kids by ourselves, and we went to the museum, the British Museum.
And that was fun?
It was very fun.
Yeah, I was super annoyed at a museum in Paris that didn't have any English translations.
Oh, no, that's sad.
I couldn't read anything. How could I enjoy this museum?
With your eyes.
No, couldn't. I have to read. My kids get so annoyed if there's a historic marker, which they're all over the place in Ohio, because I have a really hard time resisting. And they're just like, go ahead, Dad. I bet Sean reads them.
I don't know. He's weird nerdy.
You and Sean. What would be the ideal Jaime Buxton date? If Sean did plan something for you.
We'll record it and send it to him.
Yeah. So if Sean was going to really hit a home run for Jaime Buxton.
Well, this is probably a little too true because I've been begging. I love, this is probably a little raw. I love anything that's like by the water. Like, and it really, this is more of a family thing than just a date thing. But like, I love going to like Kelly's Island or Put-in Bay or even Marblehead and spending the day just doing the things, walking around. And that is not a Sean Buxton thing. So there you go. Just take me to Kelly's Island.
Sean.
Nice.
You could bring your binoculars. You could have her go, psh, 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 psh. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it wrong. It's very different. You're good at that.
You got to do the whole mouth. He'll probably say I didn't do it right when he hears later.
Is there like
Sean,
video of
text
him
us.
teaching you to do this? Because I need this in my life.
No, I
Like,
don't think so.
When you first got married, like what was it like when you had to teach you to make these noises?
Listen, I tried so hard to memorize the birds and all of the things,
Oh,
and
no.
and I just know none of them. It goes right in one ear and right out the other, and I really promise I try. I'm like, that's a new one. He's like, I've told you that one 12 times. Okay.
That's a new one. That's so me.
Can you imagine right now across Ohio and Pennsylvania how many birds are flocking near radios wondering what's happening?
Yeah.
Because you're so good at that sound.
Mrs. Birder.
I also love anything downtown. Like I would live downtown in any city really, but like I loved going downtown, and Sean's like,
Well, it's
that's
just
not his
pigeons
thing.
there. Pigeons aren't as much fun.
You know, anything.
It's 7:04, time for a quick break. More Follow-Up Friday coming. What do you want to talk about? 440-546-2255.
Mornings with Brian on Moody Radio Cleveland, WCRF Cleveland, WVMS Sandusky, WVML Millersburg, WVMN Newcastle, WVME Meadville, WVMU Ashtabula, and everywhere with the Moody Radio app or at moodyradio.org/Cleveland.
Kamala Harris is trying to rally support from union workers in her 2024 presidential bid. It's 7:04 with Moody Radio News. I'm Ron Eastwood. Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, met with United Auto Workers members yesterday in Detroit. Harris thanked the union for endorsing her presidential campaign as the ticket hopes to win the crucial battleground state of Michigan in November. 77 people are about to lose their jobs with the closure of a construction equipment manufacturing facility in Akron. Epiroc Industrial Tools and Attachments has revealed plans to shut down the local pallet and attachments plant on or around September 30th. And Ohio Task Force 1 is returning from their deployment. The Urban Search and Rescue Team was activated and deployed to Florida this past Sunday in response to Tropical Storm Debbie. Sports and weather coming right up.
Moody Radio is on the air thanks to support from our listeners and businesses like Fellowship Home Loans. They'll talk about the numbers as well as your hopes, dreams, and the market's reality. Home is where the heart is. It's where families grow and where dreams are born. More information is at 800-804-7283. That's 800-804-SAVE or fellowshiphomeloans.com. Welcome home.
In sports, the Pirates dropped a close one to the Padres, 7-6. Week 1 of the NFL season is here, and the Steelers will kick off against the Texans at home tonight. Meantime, the Browns will begin with their game against the Packers tomorrow night, and that's from home as well. And the U.S. now has 103 total medals, including a competition-leading 30 gold at the Paris Olympics. China is second in the medal count with 73 total and 29 gold, right on our heels. Meantime, host nation France is third with 54 total medals. Here is your Moody Radio Cleveland forecast. A beach hazard statement is in effect for this evening, through late Saturday night. So be cautious if you're up on Lake Erie. We'll see patchy fog early today and then cloudy skies, a chance of showers and thunderstorms this morning, becoming partly cloudy later, highs around 80, and it's going to be very humid as well. At last check, light rain and 75 degrees in Cleveland, Akron and Canton, mostly cloudy, 71. Light rain in Youngstown, where it's 72 degrees.
It's time for your moron moment.
Tropical Storm Debbie is affecting our weather, and you may remember Debbies of the past. It turns out that NOAA reuses those storm names every 6 years. That is, until one is particularly devastating. As of 2024, 96 storms have been retired, starting with Carol in 1954 and most recently Ian in September of 2022. Fortunately, none of our Mornings with Brian team names are listed, but our engineer Alan did make the list. And that's your Moron Moment. And you'll find that on our Facebook and Instagram. It's 7:08. With Moody Radio News, I'm Ron Eastwood.
Broadcasting live from the Bob Devine Studio. It's Mornings with Brian.
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
$712 WCRF, Mornings with Brian. Thanks to everybody who supported our 48 Hours of Impact campaign. Still time to give. If you want to support student tuition so that Moody students can get launched out into the front lines of evangelism without student debt, 800-600-9624, 800-600-9624, moodyradio.org/Cleveland. It's Follow-Up Friday, in studio with Jaime Buxton from City Mission.
That's me.
Love having you here, sister. We were just, I've been pondering something
Lauren.
lately.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, you did
Very
that?
nice. Yeah,
I
that was
thought
me.
that was Jamie.
No.
I'd say do it again, but you won't, so.
No.
She doesn't, if I ask her to do something, the fact that I asked means the answer is no.
I appreciate that about her.
I think a lot of people do, to be honest with you. So I've been marveling at this. I just did off the air as well. Like, I think there really is a generational difference in humor. Like, I don't think it's a Brian and Lauren. Like, I've been on this journey to figure out what Lauren thinks is funny. And I've failed miserably for weeks.
Yeah.
But then Jamie and I are very similar in age. I don't want to ask you how old you are, but how old are you?
43.
Yeah, I'm 45, so we're about the same age, right?
Yes.
You and I have been sending each other Facebook reels, and we're having a grand old time.
Really childish, dumb humor is what we like. Lauren is smarter than us.
I also think the problem is that you're sending them to me on Facebook. I just don't go into Messenger, and now I have to go into Messenger, and then it doesn't just like play. I have to go click on a different link, and then it goes to a different page, and then it loads, and then I have to watch it, and then I have to go back to Messenger to message. It's just too much.
Kids these days, they
It's
just
too
don't have any
much.
patience.
It's too much.
Well, but even if I sent you these things on TikTok, as I said off the air, it wouldn't move the needle.
No, probably not.
Like, I would send you something that I busted out laughing. Like, when I watched the Roku channel Fail Army, which is quick succession, people tripping and falling.
Yeah, it's not funny to me.
Yeah,
Unless it's like a really good one, like on ice or something like that, and they just like really can't catch it.
Yeah, those are funny. The really long falls.
Yes, and they can't catch themselves. Those are funny.
I mean, yeah, those are funny, but there's lots of different types of funny falls. So anyway, Sarah says one of her dreams is to make me laugh that hard. As I laugh watching
falling videos, yeah.
And I'll send them to you, and it like nothing happens.
Not really.
Like nothing. Do you smirk?
Maybe.
She's laughing at you, not at the video.
And then Ron, she sent me a video. Lauren sent me a video, and you're trying to show me what's funny for you.
Yes.
And it's like, I need someone to teach me a class. Like, she sends me this video of, it was to it. Can you describe it? Because you're going to describe it better. Because I watched it once and didn't smile. I was like, this is funny.
Yeah, it was during the Olympics. 2 Italian women won gold and silver in some gymnastics something. I can't remember which one. Maybe it was beam. And then a Chinese woman won bronze.
Yeah.
And everyone has seen it. They take these pictures where they're like biting onto the medal. Okay. So the 2 Italian women do that, and the Chinese woman looks at them and just has this look of complete shock and confusion.
She doesn't get it.
She doesn't get why they're doing it. And so then she just like slowly puts it just to her mouth. She doesn't bite it. She just like puts it to her mouth because it seems that the Olympic organizers are asking them to take this picture. And she just is totally unaware. And it's funny just because the cultural difference is so vast. She just has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and I watched it once all the way through, and then I said I didn't, like, there's nothing, like, I'm watching 2 people with a medal in their mouth, and the next person more slowly has a medal in their mouth. And I was like, okay.
And they probably can't communicate that well, and it's just
I
funny.
was just thinking to myself, I respect Lauren. There's something funny here. I'm going to watch it again. And I watched it again, and I observed that one of the people put it more slowly in their mouth, and I decided that must have been the funny part. It like didn't translate. But I believe you that you think that's funny. That's why I'm saying I think there must be this Millennial Gen Z giant divide.
I saved some stuff yesterday. I'll see if I can find if it's funny.
I think it's a generational thing. I think people just inherently have different types of humor.
I don't know.
So
Both of you are laughing at the same stuff. No one, and Jamie and I are over here laughing at stuff.
So my dad is a boomer.
Laughing at stuff.
I'm a Gen Z. We have very similar humor types. We're both very dry.
Yeah,
I think
same
it's
with
just
my dad.
I think it's just a bit of genetics too.
Me and my dad send each other really funny stuff.
But I
but
mean,
it's not falling videos.
I've sent different.
And my dad is older than you. It's different videos, but it's the same genre.
Jamie, help me out. Like, would you laugh at the Three Stooges?
sort of depends. That's a little over. I don't know.
It's a lot.
My dad would sit
Some
with
of your
us
fall
every
videos aren't
Sunday.
that funny.
Oh, thank goodness.
But a lot of them are.
Wow.
And
someone
I
else
figured you'd
is
out
here
that
for
you
me.
think.
Someone is here for me.
Do you know what
showed
else
me
is funny?
those, you showed me those shred videos of like dubbing bad music
Yeah, those
over
are
bands.
funny.
I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, yeah.
I laughed out loud with you.
No, but the so you made me lose my train of thought. There was
Sorry.
something else that was very funny.
Because I didn't agree with him. He lost his train of thought.
You were on Three Stooges.
Yeah, I used to watch that with my dad all the time. Maybe it's just, and he loved the movie Airplane. I think that's very funny.
Yeah.
No.
Now, I like Airplane. I'll laugh at that. Three Stooges, yeah, I'll get a chuckle.
Well, you know what else is funny? Is people getting scared. Like when you hide around a corner and say
Yes.
boo. You think that's funny?
Sometimes.
Say boo.
Lauren doesn't find it funny at all.
Some of them. I found a scare video that I'll show you that I thought was really funny.
And I probably won't understand it. Okay, well, 718-440-546-2255. It's Follow Up Friday and more coming up.
They say you can't take it with you, and that's mostly true, but there are some things from this life that do carry into eternity. Every act of kindness and generosity, every big and little thing that you do for Jesus, how God uses you to share the good news of Jesus Christ with those who have never heard. There are 3.2 billion people around the world with little or no access to the gospel. Many may live their entire lives never hearing about Jesus, not even once. But you could help change that today with a gift to support gospel broadcasts. This is Wayne Shepherd with the Far East Broadcasting Company, and I'm excited to share that we are focused relentlessly on reaching the unreached through radio, digital platforms, and social media. FEBC broadcasts the gospel in over 150 languages. This is the Great Commission in action, reaching those who have never heard, and you can be a part of it. Learn more at febc.org. That's febc.org.
Moody Radio is thankful for listeners and support from businesses like Duma Meats and Farm Market. Duma Meats and Farm Market supporting Moody Radio in Cleveland and surrounding areas. More information about Duma Meats and Farm Market is at dumameats.com.
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
724 WCRF. Again, thanks for all your support for 48 Hours of Impact. You can still get your gift in 800-600-9624, moodyradio.org/Cleveland. We did have somebody text us earlier this morning just talking about current events and frustration, you know? And it reminded me, I looked at an article recently I want to chat with you guys about from Relevant Magazine, that at the end of the day, like, they agree that Christians in America are angry. I think they are, don't you? Not all of them, but I think a lot of Christians are angry.
Yeah.
In fact, is it too extreme? Because I tend to be melodramatic. I know it's shocking. Me.
Really? It's an understatement of the century.
It may be one of the defining adjectives.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For Christians in 2024.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, we're very quick to anger, and something you'll hear often is we're defined more by what we're against rather than what we're for.
Yes.
Well, and interestingly enough, this article from Relevant Magazine, I think that they indicate Christians should be mad. But the question is not whether they should or should not be mad. The question is, what should they be mad about? Okay. Now, before we get there, they bring up two separate passages people will talk about when they debate anger. And it's in James. And I almost lost it. Here it is. So James 1, a lot of people will quote chapter 20. Well, Brian, human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. They use that as a proof text to not be angry about things. But we forget the passage right before it, verse 19. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. But it doesn't say don't get angry. As the writer in this piece said, no one says be slow to commit adultery. Well, so
that's why it's a problem.
Clearly, anger is allowed. And then this guy said that he did a ton of research for decades on anger in the scriptures. You know that the scriptures record Jesus being angry 15 times in the gospel narratives?
Never thought about it. People usually bring up he flipped tables and made a whip.
Yeah, the one that got me is when I was in the spiritual formation program, the man with the withered hand, where he healed him in the synagogue on the Sabbath.
Yep.
It explicitly says in Mark that Jesus got angry at the people in the room when they questioned whether he should heal the guy.
Right. They're all watching and waiting. Oh, is he going to do it? We're going to trap him this time. And he was angry about that.
Really angry at them.
Did he get mad at the fig tree?
Yeah, I would have been like, whoa, sorry, fig tree. He cursed it and it withered and died. What you were waving your arms around looking at commentaries. What's happening?
It's just really
over there,
good.
Lauren?
In the Moody Bible commentary about this, James 1, 19 and 20, it says the maxim lists the three essential character qualities in trials and summarizes the body of the epistle. Quick to hear counteracts sluggishness to obey God. Slow to speak corrects the sin of the tongue. And slow to anger evades outbursts in trials. Human anger, customarily sinful, see Matthew 5:22, does not achieve God's righteousness, either in oneself or in others. So human anger customarily doesn't achieve God's righteousness.
I like that phraseology because it's not saying that God doesn't have anger.
Yeah.
But human anger in and of itself is not like coinciding with godly anger. But when it does, it's okay.
Yes.
Well, anger is, it's a real emotion that God gave us. So feeling anger is not the problem. The problem is we often sin in our anger.
That's right.
It leads us to sin, like yelling at people and responding in an unloving way.
But what I found to be exceptionally interesting about this piece is that, again, a lot of Christians are angry today. And a lot of them are relieved to hear me say, oh, exactly, we should be angry. Jesus got angry 15 times. I'm supposed to conform my life to Christ. Brian should be getting angry, 15 times a day?
No.
Wait, no, that was over a 3-year period. So, but I should be getting angry. Get angry. But again, the question is what to get angry about. Another observation the guy made, which you have to process for a minute. Every time Jesus was angry, he was the only person who seemed to be bothered.
Wow.
So people talk about when Jesus flipped tables, right? Well, it wasn't like he was in an angry mob with pitchforks and torches leading them in. He was the only one. They were all in there doing their thing, selling their stuff, doing their regular religious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he got in there and made a whip and started freaking out. When
I wouldn't say freaking out.
Well, this is the Brian translation, okay? Think of it like the message, okay? But then, even when he got mad about the withered hand, it wasn't like everyone else was like, yeah, what are you guys doing? How do you feel about this observation? Every time Jesus was angry, he was the only person who seemed to be bothered.
I mean, it makes sense. A lot of the people he was going up against were the religious men of the day, thinking that they were in the right, thinking that they were the ones calling out all this bad stuff and doing the right thing and being holy when they really weren't. They were doing it for selfish purposes. So those are the kind of the crowds he was in. And so it makes sense that he'd be the only one because everyone's thinking that they're doing right.
Yeah. But, okay, so we should be angry. Jesus got angry 15 times. But when he got angry, he was the only one. Now I start to get nervous because right now what we have is an angry Christian mob.
Right.
We have American Christians collectively getting each other riled up. Mm-hmm. You see a meme, you're like, oh, this will be a good one to get all my Christian friends riled up about America.
Mm-hmm. And that is, I would argue that is the point. That's why you're doing that, is to get all your friends riled up.
Yes.
And doing that is not in the right heart or mind of righteous anger. That's to get people riled up.
Right. But we feel like, you read a passage of scripture and you go, hey, look, righteous anger is a thing. Jesus got angry. All right, everybody, let's get mad.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get out and storm the gates and let's make sure America is more like Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Grab your pitchfork. I mean, no one's saying that, but we're an angry mob in many respects. So
I guess what does the word righteous mean and look like then?
That's where one of the debates comes in is, yeah, right, righteous anger, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy breaks it down, and it may not be what you think it is. We're going to get into what actually was Jesus angry about, and how does that reflect in our lives? As in, yes, we should be angry. It's allowed.
Mm-hmm.
But when should we be angry, and what should make us angry? We'll get to that here in just a few minutes.
I'm John Kersey, and this is Pause for Prayer. Why is Jesus' name to be exalted? Well, we live in a culture where it's not safe to even say the name of Jesus publicly or talk about faith openly. The letters PC have supplanted the letters JC in our culture. People push away Jesus, his name, his life, his death, and especially his resurrection. And of course, the resurrection is the main reason why we should exalt his name. Let's ponder that as we enter a time of prayer today. Fairest Lord Jesus, we praise your holy name, and we do so because of who you are. You were fully obedient to the will of God the Father, even to death on the cross at Calvary. Others may decry your name and push you away. Perhaps they don't understand. Perhaps they do understand, and they're just running away from reality. But we lift your name up high because of who you are and what you've done for us. We know from Paul's letter to the Philippians that God has exalted you to the highest place and gives your name above every other name, and that at the name of Jesus, every knee should bow and every tongue confess the fact that Christ Jesus is Lord. In John 17, Jesus, you told us that you finished the work which God gave you to do. You gave the most important gift of all to us, salvation, paid for by your precious blood. The wonder-working power of that sacrifice is that it opens the door for us all to have eternal life through both your death and your resurrection from the dead. So let us never hesitate to exalt your name for that. And we offer this prayer in your name, fairest Lord Jesus. Amen.
If you're 65 or older, you know this. Seeing your healthcare costs go up and up is frustrating. And maybe you were just notified that your Medicare costs are increasing again, or you're just tired of the massive deductibles. Well, here's some good news. There's a program that can really help with this. It's MediShare 65 Plus. It's an affordable, reliable alternative. You can choose any Medicare provider. You get telehealth access anytime you need it. And MediShare 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B, and it fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. MediShare is a Christian healthcare community that aligns with your faith. People actually pray for you, they encourage you, and it's proven too. It's been going strong for over 30 years now. So call now. You can get one low monthly price for up to 10 years. You're not stuck with increasing costs. You can do something about this today. Call MediShare 65 Plus. Find out how much you can save. Call 833-59-SHARE. That's 833-59-SHARE. 833-59-SHARE.
They say family knows you best. Here's Brian's older brother with a message for you.
At least my little brother was able to make a career out of talking non-stop.
It's Mornings with Brian on Moody Radio.
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
David Crowder at 7:38 on WCRF. You were so generous. Thank you so much. I believe we're at 89% of our goal for 48 Hours of Impact. So do the best. You can still give to support student tuition. Remember, we pay student tuition, as in you and me, we pay student tuition at Moody. Students don't, so that they can go into ministry without the burden of debt. 800-600-9624, moodyradio.org/Cleveland. We had somebody text us with some frustration about just the state of affairs in the world. Totally get it. There was actually an article from Relevant Magazine I wanted to talk about Christian anger, in that American Christians are angry, and we should be angry. The question is not whether or not we should be angry, because anger is a thing that isn't necessarily sinful. It can be.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, what should we be angry about? And the writer of this article has an unconventional answer to that. Before we get to it, though, Jaime Buxton, City Mission, what makes you angry? You're laughing because I would be. You want me to go first? Would that be
Sure.
easier? People intentionally doing a four-way stop incorrectly.
Intentionally?
Like, you're there first, I arrive, you wave me through, Brian's mad.
Mm.
Oh, interesting. That really gets you going, huh?
Yeah, like you are contributing to the breakdown of society. Like, it's who gets there first at a four-way stop is going to go.
We've talked about this
ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Like, it's not polite to wave someone through when it's your turn and there's lots of people waiting. It screws up the whole system.
Okay.
It used to make me angry. Well, what else makes me angry?
Slow drivers.
I'm working on that one intently. Like, I'm working with the Lord on that one. And I'm telling myself that people have reasons for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actually will self-talk. Brian, this person is going, under the speed limit because they might have just gotten in an accident and they're very nervous.
Or they just got a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
And they're nervous.
And then I'm able to kind of like...
I'm trying to be a good boy.
So I'm getting better. I need to do this at a four-way stop, but I can't seem to come up with a logical explanation why someone would do this.
They're being nice.
It's not nice.
But it is.
They think that they're being nice.
But they aren't.
But they think that they are, and that's what they're thinking.
It's illogical to be nice in a car,
We
sitting
don't
waiting.
need to get riled up about it right now.
I know you are really getting feisty.
What makes Jaime Buxton mad?
I feel like we're going to get hate mail for this, but landscaping vehicles that's park on the side of the street and everyone has to go around them.
And they haven't even tried to park closer to this.
No,
they don't
No.
care.
Like, I get it if you're like a fireman
funny.
or like even a city worker, I'll deal with. But just like, we're just here to mow their grass, so we're going to take up half the street. Is a real problem.
3/4 of the street.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah. That's a problem for
I've
me.
never thought about that my whole life.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh, it's all over Northeast Ohio.
All over. And sometimes they even put out cones like they're doing. And I'm like, you're just mowing the grass. Park in the driveway.
I think what they're doing, if I'm going to advocate for them, it'd be really hard to back up with your big trailer into a busy street.
I understand.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
But you asked.
Yeah, no, but I get it, because where I grew up in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's a newer community. We don't have 2-lane roads. Like, everything's wider and bigger. This is not a problem. Northeast Ohio with the 2-lane thing, one each direction. We're always stopping for something.
Yeah.
Like, they created on 422 a 20-foot section permanently blocking one lane so they could work on power lines for a day. And they put up a stoplight, and so now we're all taking extra time to get home, and I don't even understand what's happening here. But anyway,
there you go.
I'm getting okay. What makes Lauren mad?
Oh, lots of stuff.
Don't say you, Brian. Don't say that.
I did.
You're thinking it, though.
Her eyes are saying that.
Lots of stuff.
What makes you mad?
Oh, I can't think of something right off the top of my head.
It's a game where something has to spit out.
What?
The first thing that comes to your mind when...
People are pretty bad at merging on highways. That really makes me upset.
Yeah, especially if they stop.
Or they don't speed up. Like, they want to get ahead of you, but they don't speed up. But it's like, okay, please.
Yeah, I will talk to people when this is happening. I'll be like, all right, Jenny, we're going to have to go faster than 30 to get on the interstate.
Exactly.
Let's go.
That's
Come
right.
on.
Yeah.
Come on. We're going to have to use the accelerator. So that makes you upset.
Yeah.
Ron?
Along the lines with Jamie of people parking, when you have people parking like in front of their house, and then the guy across the street has friends who are going to park in front of his house. So you basically doing a slalom down your road.
Yes.
In between cars parked on either side because nobody could get the initiative to think, you know what? Why don't I park on that side too? So everybody can just pull over, go around the whole crowd, and then get back in their lane.
Yeah. That kind of gets your goat, they say, isn't that?
Yeah.
I don't know
You're
why
playing
goats.
chicken on your own street. I get it.
Uh-huh.
Daria.
Yeah, driving apparently makes people mad because
It doesn't make you mad.
Deal.
No, it does make me mad.
Oh.
Like when I'm either merging or like changing lanes, I am going the proper speed. There is someone like in the next lane, but like well behind me. So like I have room. I turn my turn signal on. They speed up to get past me when they could have just continued their speed and let me get over.
Yeah, they don't like the idea of letting you in.
No, and it wasn't even like letting me
Yeah.
in. It's like they like had to floor it to get ahead of me.
Yeah, and in Chicago,
Driving is-
I learned in Chicago that a turn signal, you really, if you turn it on, it's going to challenge the other driver.
Yeah.
To,
You can't turn it on until the last second.
Yeah, because they're like, wait a minute, I left room? This is a problem. So I developed a technique because we had a 12-passenger van. It was very hard to merge into Chicago highways with that.
I'm sure.
I would literally roll down the window, stick my head out the window, and look in the eyes of the driver that was needed to let me in every time they let me in.
All right.
Yes, gotta.
If it was stop traffic and I wouldn't stick my head out the window, they wouldn't let me in. They'd be like, sorry, buddy, you're going to be on the shoulder the rest of your life.
Yes.
But if I
That's
looked them
exactly
in the
right.
eye and I'd be like, what?
Yeah,
They'd
or you
let
just
me
have to
in.
get real aggressive. And you just force your car in there, and they'll stop.
So I'm sorry to tell all of us. Wait, no, Ron. What? No, you did tell us what's angry.
Yeah.
What makes you
What's angry.
Okay. Now, we're all wrong.
Yeah.
None of this should make us angry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Or at least we know we're sinning in our anger
Right.
in these instances.
Because again, there's no question that Christians in America are angry about various things. People want us to get more angry about various things. We are too angry about driving.
Yeah.
Clearly. Somebody's going, why are you so angry about that? You're not angry about this. The question, Jesus got angry 15 times in the Gospels, but the question is not whether he did, but what he got angry about. Here's what this writer said. Let's see what we think of it. The surprise of Jesus' anger is that it frees us. It delivers us from evil. It enables us to let go of the sin which so easily entangles us, as Hebrews talks about. Jesus' anger, godly anger, compels us to hate our own sin. Abhor what is evil is a New Testament commandment that too often is ignored and disobeyed. How many of us Christ followers are helping each other hate our own sin? I don't ever really hear that happening.
Right.
They say godly anger is spiritual energy that motivates believers to trust the Lord. It's holy discontent that makes us feel dissatisfied with our chronic patterns of stuckness and laziness and complacency and self-righteousness and pride and lewdness and indulgence and pretension and image management and people-pleasing and cowardice and fear. We have to remember Jesus' godly anger was never aimed at a prostitute or a tax collector or a political candidate. He targeted his anger at religious phonies who took God's name in vain by using it to hide their wicked deeds. Jesus' anger also burned against his very closest followers who willfully hardened their hearts instead of humbling themselves and taking him at his word. What's supposed to make us angry? Our own proclivity to sin.
Ouch.
Now, is he right? This is a human writer.
Mm-hmm.
You think he's right.
No, I'm agreeing that it's just a human writer.
So does it mean that this person's right? But he's right. I don't remember Jesus getting mad at people that we get mad at in America.
No, for sure not.
It makes us uncomfortable, but Jesus, like somebody said a little while ago, that Olympic opening ceremony, like Jesus would have invited those folks to dinner.
Right.
That offended everybody in America.
Yeah, we often get mad at sinners. And Jesus doesn't get mad like that at the sinners. He invites them in.
Mm-hmm. He gets mad at religious people who don't realize that they're sinners.
Yeah, he invites the sinner in to have a life transformed in him and to be new. He doesn't get mad at them because they're sinning.
Right.
He gets mad at the religious people for continuing in their sin.
Yeah, he said, I didn't come to save those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners.
Mm-hmm.
We should be angry about our own sin life and our own journey to conform our lives to Christ. That's what spiritual formation is me realizing how much I'm not like Jesus and how much more I need to be like him. It's what's tried to, I mean, I'm imperfect at it, but I'm trying to get better about getting mad at other drivers with this self-talk I was telling you about, because I know it's not righteous anger. I am not displaying Christian behavior when I get angry at the guy in front of me driving slower than I want him to. It's so selfish.
Right. And we're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect, but the call is to be perfect like Jesus was perfect. And so he's constantly inviting us into moments to get to that perfect moment. It's not going to happen in this life. It'll happen in heaven, but it's a continual calling of changing who we are to become more like Christ, to become more perfect in him.
So it's fair to say that all of us angry at the way people park or drive,
silliness.
We should not be angry about those things. We should be angry at our own sin. Okay? So then is it fair to say that people who are primarily angry about the state of America have misdirected their anger as well?
Probably.
It's not a conventional thing to say. That's how you galvanize Christians today, is to galvanize around something to get mad at. But we're supposed to be most upset about our own sin, not other people's sin.
Yeah, I think the problem is that we're getting so upset at other people and their sin or just the acts of sin, and we're totally missing our sin part in it.
Yeah, and if you start there, what happens, if you start with your own sin and your own brokenness, it becomes really easy to extend love and grace to other people.
Yeah, because you come at them saying, well, who am I? Who am I to be angry at you about your sin? I'm just as sinful as you. There is nothing good in me except Christ. So there's no reason for me to be so angry.
So really, we should be angry at Christians who are not realizing how much of a mess they are while they point their fingers at other people and society and culture. And
no, we should invite them to know Christ and invite them to be transformed.
This is the problem in the church right now. If I'm going to pick one, it's this. There's lots, but that's it. So if somebody wanted to talk about the state of world affairs, it's not quite what you wanted, I don't think. But I think it's the biblical answer. 7:51, time for a break.
If you've been putting off estate planning, Moody Bible Institute is ready and willing to help you get started through a free estate planning seminar. You'll hear from a Christian attorney and trusted advisor who will outline how to leave a legacy for your loved ones and the ministries you care about. Learn more and sign up today for this free estate planning seminar. Go to moodybible.org/legacy. That's moodybible.org/legacy.
This is David Harms with the ministry India Partners, and I have walked through the red light districts of Mumbai, India numerous times, and trust me, it is dark. Young girls have no joy in their eyes because they feel they have no future, and they'll be stuck in the trade for the rest of their lives. But once they get into a safe house run by India Partners, well, just listen. That is God at work, which is why for the last year we've shared powerful stories of safety, rescue, and care happening through the India Partners safe houses. These girls are safe from harm, well cared for, and introduced to the transforming and healing love of Jesus. Learn more about the power of rescue and care in a safe house at indiapartners.org/Moody.
Keeping your eyes on Jesus in a changing culture can be difficult. Let us help. It's Mornings with Brian on Moody Radio, Cleveland.
7:53 WCRF. Again, about 89% of our goal for our, what's it called?
48 hours of
48
impact.
hours of impact.
I'm like, I don't know. It's right here.
I forgot for a minute. Jamie Buxton's here, and I was distracted. She's so much fun. We love having you here, Jamie Buxton.
Thanks.
It's not too late, by the way, to donate to 48 Hours of Impact to help student tuition be underwritten at Moody Bible Institute. 800-600-9624. 800-600-9624. moodyradio.org/Cleveland. You struck a chord, Jamie Buxton, with the landscapers parking in the road.
I'm sorry to the landscaper. We share the same area code, so I hope you don't find where I live.
Well, and the good news is when we talked about anger, what we realized is that all of us who are angry about various parking and driving
is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's something I got to work on. And maybe I'm just a little jealous I don't have a landscaper. That's probably true.
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about there's going to be a point where it's a tipping point, and I go, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Ron, have you considered that?
Have I reached a tipping point where I don't get angry anymore?
No, where you don't want to, where you're ready to hire a landscaper to block the street.
Oh.
And
Don't say block the street. I'm already in trouble.
We're working on it.
No, I look at the bills and I say, I don't need to add another $100 a month or whatever it would be for some guy to come mow my yard. As lazy as I am, and I put it off as long as I can.
The grass is overtaking his yard.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a real point of contention in my family between my husband and me. And I think poor Sean, he's been thrown under the bus all morning, if you've been with us. But I just want to spray for the weeds. I want someone to come and spray my yard. And Sean is totally against it because we have to save the bees.
Mm-hmm.
And I just say we're an embarrassment to our community, and he does not care. And so you're right. I've just called myself out. It's not the landscaper's parking. I just want a landscaper.
There's the issue. There it is.
We've uncovered the real ugliness of my heart.
Yeah, my
We've all
wife's
got
got a
it.
soft spot for the bees.
Yeah, Sean will not.
She didn't want to do the full-time work of having like a beehive.
Mm-hmm.
She wondered if you could. She was asking people if you could have like a bee Airbnb.
Like a little hotel. A bee
Yeah,
hotel.
like
It's
they can
called
hang out.
Let your weeds. Let your dandelions grow. And that's what Sean would tell her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a real problem for me.
You also tip over the lawnmower, as I recall, the riding mower.
Yeah.
See, it's all making sense.
It's all making sense now. It's the ugliness of my heart trying to keep up with the neighbors.
So you're getting too ambitious on a hill, and the riding mower's tipping over, which is very dangerous.
Yes, I've tipped it at least 3 times.
Is this on purpose to get Sean to hire someone?
Once?
No. Actually, Sean just has banned me from the lawnmower at this point, which
Was
is
that on
fine.
purpose so you wouldn't have to mow?
No, I love mowing the lawn. He says I don't do that good of a job, and I tip it from time to time.
Yes, Sarah.
You take the corners too hard.
Is
Going
it
around
a
the-
zero
going
turn?
around the trees.
It's like a real hill. No, it's not a 0 turn.
3 times.
3 times because I'm competitive, guys. There's this hill, and Sean always says, "Oh, I'll do it with the weed whacker," and he just doesn't do it as often as he should. And so I'm like, I can go further on that hill than he can, and I've
Apparently
tipped.
not.
I have tipped the mower 3 times.
Oh my
Wow.
Yeah, I had one day where Sarah was like, you know what? I want to mow today. You always are mowing.
Oh, you
show me how to use the tractor. Show me how to do this.
Yeah.
I showed her, and when she finished a few hours later, she's like, I know why you do this. Look at you, all by yourself.
Yep.
Listening to music.
Yep.
For a couple hours, right?
No kids asking you questions.
Yep.
But you said she didn't do very good lines, did she?
She doesn't care about the lines.
Yeah.
I have one child I allow to use the mower because she's so deliberate and careful about her lines. I will like put my arm around her and go, look at your lines. Sophia, if you're listening, you're amazing. Like I just go, look at that, honey. Look what you did. That's beautiful.
That's
There you
proud
go.
dad.
Yeah, the other kid's like driving a circle. And I just want to go, get off the mower. No one drives in circles on a mower. Like you start in a wide circle and just keep going in.
I love that. That's exactly what I do in the far back of my yard. Sean also hates it.
Why would you do that?
Because it's so fun.
It's not fun. Can you believe it?
That sounds
Ron,
like
are you
fun to
offended?
me.
I'm not. We used to have a big field in the front of our house. I grew up my teen years, and that's how I would do with the tractor. Do the outside, and then little by little, you're moving in.
No.
Until at some point, it becomes so narrow, you have to take a long swoop and turn around to get straight on the line again.
Well, let's do a public service announcement. It's on the radio, so it must be true. I think Abe Lincoln said that at some point. So here's how it works. You do a couple of perimeter runs on the mower, whether it's push or riding. So you get a thick area on the outside that its purpose is for turning around. And then you pick a direction.
Lauren, you're agreeing with him. It's really bothering me.
And that direction is not the same direction you went last time.
That's right.
And
Okay.
if you're really doing it correctly, it's not the same direction you went the last 2 times. You can go straight
Diagonal.
across, you can go perpendicular to that. And then you also have 2 diagonals that can be done. There's 4 different directions you can go on that mower. And so really, you should be doing it different every 4 times in a different direction. And that's what you do. And it's straight lines, and you go slow enough to make sure they're straight lines. And if they get crooked, you do one almost wasted line to get it straight again. You have to not mow as much.
Right.
To re-straighten your line.
Speaking of persnickety.
Lauren, am I wrong?
No, I do that too. I'm just not going to rant about it.
I also turn the mower on as fast as it goes.
Zipping around.
We are on bunny speed. Yeah.
Yeah, see, my back can't handle that. I can't. Hours of bouncing around. It's just, I can't.
Oh, yeah. If you're not slipping off the seat, you're doing something wrong.
Jamie,
That's why you fall off.
Yes. Are you getting tire tracks on your yard?
That's why you fall off.
I'm not allowed to mow anymore.
It seems to me like you use that man technique of if I do this poorly enough, I'll never
it's
be
not
asked
true.
to do it again.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. You get your tan on. Nobody's talking to you. I like it.
But by the way, can you please share Andy's comment by text?
Yes, Brian's mowing technique is chef's kiss.
Correct. I have a lot of proper ways to do things. My buffet rules are
You have a
very
lot of
important.
rules.
I wrote an article, Daria,
I know.
about
You've
proper
read it
buffet
twice.
etiquette.
Since I
Proper
got here a
buffet
year ago.
etiquette?
Yeah, there's people across America who are doing buffets incorrectly and mowing their lawns incorrectly.
Do we have
and
time
if
to
only
know
I were
this?
allowed to be dictator, we could fix all of these things.
Yes, and didn't you write a blog post about the proper way to cook a frozen pizza?
That is correct. I did. It was my friend, my cousin's a food blogger, and her most read piece, much to her frustration, is my silly article I wrote about how to cook a frozen pizza. People love it because everyone's doing it wrong.
What's your specialty?
You think I'm just going to reveal that on the radio right now?
You wrote a blog piece about it. It's not exactly a secret.
It was a hot item on the internet.
Yes. He needs the clicks. Go look it up.
It's like I watch my kids, like my son will put a corn dog in the microwave, and I'm offended.
Oh, Jimmy will heat up pizza in the microwave?
No,
I say,
don't do
what
it.
are you doing to me?
No,
okay,
you-
I will make
no.
it for you. Just don't put it in the microwave.
The worst way to have pizza is reheated in the microwave. If you do that, it's very close to being sinful.
Do you want to know what Sean's favorite way to have pizza is?
What?
This took some real getting over in marriage. He likes it and when it's sat out on the counter all night, and then it's perfect in the morning.
Oh, my.
That's
Ew.
unhealthy. That's not
Someone's
healthy.
going to get sick.
Well, he hasn't yet, guys, and he's made our kids that way too.
So
Ew.
he wants it quite literally room temperature.
Yes.
It may take hours to get there.
And soggy and stale.
It's not soggy. It toughens up a bit.
I'm sure.
I mean, really, the air fryer, one of its primary functions is frozen food, and its other one is reheating food.
You know, we have an air fryer that maybe we've used twice.
You're making a lot of mistakes in your life. Trust me, I've got a lot of ideas about how things are supposed to be done. Lauren's dying because of it, but it's true. I'm published, Lauren, with my ideas.
Yeah.
Published.
You have any idea how easy it is to publish something on the internet?
That's not the point.
I was going to say,
book.
does
We're
a
all published
Facebook
authors
post
because
count?
we've all put on Facebook.
I was a blogger. Hello.
Yeah, you and everybody else in 2008.
He says, I've got a lot of proper ways to think about things.
I do. There's right and wrong ways to do things. Don't get Sarah started because I do half the things wrong in her mind. But
Me too.
all right, we've covered that. If you do want some more information, I guess I could go into more detail, but it's Follow-Up Friday. You'd have to decide. 440-546-2255.
Mornings with Brian on Moody Radio Cleveland, WCRF Cleveland, WVMS Sandusky, WVML Millersburg, WVMN Newcastle, WVME Meadville, WVMU Ashtabula, and everywhere with the Moody Radio app or at moodyradio.org/Cleveland.
It looks like there will be at least one debate between former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. It's 8:03. I'm Ron Eastwood, Moody Radio News. ABC News announced Thursday that Trump and Harris agreed to a debate on September 10th. During a press event, Trump said he'd agreed to 2 more debates on NBC and Fox News, but those networks have yet to confirm. A decades-old cold case involving the murder of a Cuyahoga Falls woman has been solved. In August of 1987, 33-year-old Janice Christensen was killed while jogging on a trail in Hudson. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost announced yesterday that through DNA evidence, it has been determined that Christensen was killed by Thomas Collier Jordan. Now, Jordan died in Arizona in 2009 at the age of 83. Today is the last day that shoppers can use the tax-free holiday across Ohio. This year, the state's sales tax holiday was expanded to include most items under $500 and dining in at restaurants. I'll be right back with sports and weather.
You are invited to experience Moody at our beautiful campus in the heart of downtown Chicago. Campus visit days are September 13th, October 18th, or November 15th. Explore life as a Moody student, attend classes, enjoy chapel, meet with students and advisors, and view our world-class city. If you're a student or the parent of a student, learn more at moody.edu/visit. Can't make it in person? We'd love to visit with you online. Go to moody.edu/visit.
In sports, the Pirates dropped a close one to the Padres, 7-6. Week 1 of the NFL preseason is here, finally. The Steelers kick off against the Texans at home tonight. The Browns will begin from home tomorrow night against the Packers. And the U.S. now has 103 total medals, including a competition-leading 30 gold at the Paris Olympics. China is second in the medal count with 73 total. Host nation France third with 54 total medals. Here's your Moody Radio Cleveland forecast. A beach hazard statement is in effect from this evening through late Saturday night for all of you along the lake shore. We'll see patchy fog early today, then cloudy skies, a chance of showers and thunderstorms this morning, becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. It'll be humid with our high temperature around 80 degrees. And at last check, we did have cloudy skies in Cleveland, 74 degrees. Clear and 73 in Akron, Canton. Ashtabula, cloudy and 72.
It's time for your moron moment.
Tropical Storm Debbie is affecting our weather, and you may remember Debbies of the past. It turns out that NOAA reuses storm names every 6 years. That is, until one is particularly devastating. As of this year, 96 storm names have been retired. It started with Carol in 1954 and most recently Ian in September of 2022. Fortunately, none of our Mornings with Brian team names are listed, but our engineer Alan did make the list. And that's your Moron Moment. And you'll find that on our Facebook and Instagram. It's 8:07. With Moody Radio News, I'm Ron Eastwood.
Broadcasting live from the Bob Devine Studio.
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
811 WCRF. Thanks to everybody who donated school supplies to our school supply drive at Laura's home. Jaime Buxton with us today from City Mission.
Hello, hello.
It's a great response this year.
It was awesome.
And
it was so much fun. I on the way home, I was like, was I a little rowdy on the radio? Because
no.
Because there's a lot like going on. I felt like I was a little like distracted, but it was so much fun.
Well, you couldn't help but be distracted when Team Roy and Team Scooter both show up.
No one was more rowdy than those two,
Oh,
especially Roy.
That's true.
Could not outdo them.
No, can't be done.
But it was a fun morning.
It was.
It's a very different animal when you're in the radio biz to go to be in the studio like today, but go to a place
controlled
like
environment.
that.
Right.
The first time it happened to me, I could hardly function.
I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on.
Yeah. So many distractions, so many people doing things, and you're like trying to actually communicate.
Yeah, I was like, am I saying normal things or am I like reacting to people around me?
Right. So thanks for doing that, everybody. And also thanks for your help on 48 Hours of Impact. It's still time to give if you want to help student tuition at Moody so students can get launched into ministry on the front lines of evangelism without the burden of debt. 800-600-9624, moodyradio.org/Cleveland. Much to Lauren's disappointment, multiple people would like to hear my buffet rules.
Multiple, there's one, and I agreed. So there's two.
Okay.
That would be multiple.
Multiple.
Okay. Two.
So we're going to approach this differently just to keep Lauren entertained and Daria.
You have 2.5 minutes.
I would like you to tell me, let's just say you go to a Golden Corral or a Chinese buffet, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Jaime Buxton's first plate will contain...
I've gotten, I'm really bad at buffets because you should get a little of everything that you want to try. But the problem is I find the things that I like, which are normally the least healthy, most filling things.
Like
and
what?
then I'm burnout. Like, well, we just did an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Good.
And Sean says I'm a waste of that money when you're in Myrtle
I
Beach.
like him.
It's a lot of money for those seafood buffets. You know, it's like $70 or something a head.
Yeah.
And I did one plate and he was mad.
Like, what was on the plate?
Fried shrimp, and they had mozzarella sticks.
Okay. Well, I'm not as
and
excited about
mashed
that.
potato.
Oh, that bad decision. What else?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I have a category of person that I would like to. I love you. You're a Christian friend if you follow Jesus, but I would like to ban you from buffets if you do something. And
What
many
is
of you
it?
will not be allowed in one again.
What is it?
You go to the salad bar at all. You go fill a plate with iceberg lettuce and canned peaches, and the people that own the buffet are in back, maniacal
Cheering.
laughing,
Yeah.
counting their money.
Sean actually told our boys, do not go to that
Yes.
side.
I will insult you if you do it because it is. If you want canned peaches and iceberg lettuce for $15 to $20, come over to my place. I got plenty for you. It's the dumbest thing you can ever do. It's an economics game you need to win at a buffet. What you do is you look around, you scope it out. What at this buffet costs the most money? That's what I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to win.
Crab legs.
Yeah, it was the crab legs.
You go to the crab legs. You go to you go to the seafood. Do they have steak? I'd like one, please. Mashed potatoes, total waste.
Not if you love mashed potatoes.
Biscuits, waste.
Total waste.
Whoa,
do you know
guys!
whoa, listen. Do you know what Golden Corral does to trick people?
That bread is delightful.
It's really
good.
The bread.
It's so good though.
That's
It's
why
buttered
they
and
do it.
like glistening underneath those red lights.
And it
It's
costs
so
like
good.
-3 cents for
Listen.
them to make it.
Okay, but what if I get rolls with my steak?
Still a waste.
Brian wants you to get crab
and I like
and
bread.
steak.
Yeah. Surf and turf.
That's it.
The place
No
where
potatoes
it's
allowed.
most deceptive, if you go to like a Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah.
My wife and I went for lunch once because it's half the price.
Yes.
And they here's how it works. We'll bring out all these fancy things. Here you go. Just sit down. If you'd like, while you wait, go over here to this salad bar. And
yeah,
Sarah's
we'll be out
like,
with the meat soon.
yeah,
Go
and
ahead,
Sarah's
get the
like, oh,
salad.
I'll go do that.
No.
No. I was
Wait
like,
for
what are
the
you
meats.
doing?
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's
at
a-
those, it's like
the meats.
fancy salads. It's not like
Do you
iceberg
understand
lettuce.
what you're doing? Are you going to pay $100 for like canned artichokes? That's what it is. They're in the back. I actually looked in a window once at an Amish buffet back into the kitchen, And there was a woman opening up an enormous can of peaches and syrup and pouring it into a nice container to trick you.
Well, I didn't think that they canned
she
the
was laughing.
peaches and
Now-
syruped.
And then what they do at the Brazilian steakhouse, they come over, hey, we're preparing the expensive meat. Would you like this sausage?
Right.
And I
Chicken.
say, no. And then they, oh
Bring
yeah.
the steaks.
Would you like this chicken leg, like the cheapest cut of chicken? Would you like that? Oh, it's so fancy. Look, it's fancy. No, I don't want it. And then they come out and they go, here was the throwaway part of the cow. Would you like that? And I look them in the eye and I say, it says on the menu, you've got filet and Parmesan crusted whatever. I want that. Don't even come to me with your cheap cuts.
Are you serious? So when they come around with the swords, you're turning stuff away?
Absolutely. If I'm paying $50 to have this meal, you're going to bring me
for
the
this,
filet.
Jamie. You asked for
Lauren
this.
doesn't disagree.
I don't disagree.
Like, insult me
I'm
with
still
this
getting
sausage?
some biscuits, but I understand.
So
Can't
that,
pass up a biscuit or a roll.
Daria, that's not what I want. I want the.
I want a roll.
Then,
I do.
Again, let's get everybody together. I'm charging $15. We're going to have iceberg lettuce salads and canned peaches at my house. It's what you like.
You
no,
throw
I'm
in a
not going for-
roll
I'm not
and
going for
mashed
the
potatoes,
fruit.
I'm there.
And Hawaiian rolls.
Oh, and we're going to have rolls. It's what you like. I'm going to charge you, in fact, $20. Brian, this
In
isn't
fact.
this isn't very nice meal. No, it's what you like because that's
He's
what you
getting all
do at
flustered.
buffets.
He's toppling stuff over there.
Okay. He is feisty.
I know, it's time to go.
If I charged you $15
We need a break so he can settle down.
to have salad and fruit, would you be upset with me?
Well, I didn't tell you I was getting either of those things. Although I am a sucker for the ice cold cottage cheese.
Ice cold.
It's always so nice and cold on there.
You have a freezer, right?
I know.
You should be banned.
Probably should. I just get a little bit because I don't buy cottage cheese very often.
I watched my father-in-law once do like canned peaches, cantaloupe, and cottage cheese at a Chinese buffet, and I just wanted to leave.
Now the best thing about a Chinese buffet is the donuts.
You get
It's
the
just gonna get
coconut-
worse.
You get the
It's
coconut
just-
shrimp, Jamie. That's what you get. It's expensive.
Okay.
8:18.
You asked for this.
I need a break.
Moody Radio is on.
Moody Bible Institute is a special place. We're blessed to work here, and we'd love you to join us. There's a need for the tax manager. You'll be supervised by the treasurer and be responsible for all aspects of trust tax reporting, institute taxes, and sales taxes. It's so satisfying to use how God gifted you for His good by joining the team at Moody Bible Institute. Apply now at moodyjobs.org.
So many ask, why is there human suffering? The book of Job directly addresses that question. And this month, Today in the Word takes readers through an in-depth study of Job in our new devotional, Seeking Answers. Join devotional author Dr. Eric Moore and over 1 million readers for this month's study. Download our free Today in the Word app or go to todayintheword.org. Be encouraged to remain strong in your faith during times of suffering.
Moody Radio is on the air thanks to support of listeners and Hawkins Sales. They've been serving the electrical industry nationwide for over 30 years. More information about Hawkins Sales is at hawkinssales.com.
Keeping your eyes on Jesus in a changing culture can be difficult. Let us help. It's Mornings with Brian on Moody Radio, Cleveland.
8:20. Lauren, watching carefully as text messages come in, ready to respond. Could you share a couple of the most recent ones? I can't resist because they're buffet comments.
The people who eat cheap stuff at buffets keep them in business so the rest of us can eat the good stuff.
Yeah, we need a table or two of
Jamie.
Of people doing all the wrong
Yeah.
things so the rest of us can eat. Yeah.
When I was growing up, we went to a buffet that had lobster tails. My brother and I filled our plates with olives. My mom threatened to leave us in the car with a can of olives.
I remember we went to one once that had crab legs, and there were people lined up just waiting for the next batch of crab
Oh,
legs
yeah.
to fill a whole plate.
Oh,
and
yeah.
those were people you want to be in business with. Smart people.
There you go.
Sean actually did get mad at you.
Yeah, because I ate all the fried foods and then I couldn't eat anything else. True story.
Yeah. All right. You know what I have for us? Weird news. Couple of weird news stories I think we'll have some fun with here on a Friday. The Ohio Supreme Court has ruled on the case of the boneless chicken wings.
Oh.
Good thing our Supreme Court's keeping their eye on all the important issues.
Yep.
The case began in April of 2016 when Michael Berkheimer said a bone in his boneless wings he bought from Wings on Brookwood near Cincinnati has resulted in him not being able to work due to a bone tearing his throat.
Oh, goodness.
How fast are you eating this
You
chicken?
swallow it whole?
And I mean, I tend to chew my chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, it's whole.
It sounds like user error.
Yeah.
He said it caused an infection, which resulted in multiple surgeries.
Goodness.
Blah, blah, blah. The court ruled against him.
Oh.
He brought a case because he was like, listen, it said boneless. I was all ready to throw down an entire chicken wing without chewing it because there's no bone. And they said no, stating bones are a natural part of a chicken. So
That's
a
what I was gonna
consumer
say.
should be aware
Yeah.
that even boneless wings might have a bone in them, that a consumer cannot sue over that issue.
Yeah, because there's no such thing as a boneless chicken.
Correct.
Could be a really funny chicken, though.
Wobbling around.
You know how serious you are about buffets? That's how serious Sean Buxton, my husband, is about boneless wings.
Okay.
They shouldn't be consumed.
Oh, yeah, Eddie's the same.
Chickens have bones. Only boneless wings are acceptable in our house.
Really?
100%. You said Eddie's the same way?
They have to be bone in?
Yeah,
Wings?
they
Yeah.
have to be bone
Yes.
in.
Oh, yeah, no. Eddie doesn't eat boneless wings.
I will intentionally order boneless.
Yeah. Why
Nope.
waste your time chewing around a bone?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like bone-in wings.
Number one, it's wasting time. Number two, I feel like I'm getting more chicken.
Yeah.
I think at most restaurants, boneless is slightly cheaper too.
Right. And so
don't know.
you are leaving half of said wing on your plate. I'm eating the whole thing carefully so as to not get cut.
Just in case.
But Sean will not allow the boneless wing?
No. It's not real bone, not real wings.
How does Jamie feel about
Well,
chicken?
buffaloes also don't have wings, but we eat those.
Do you prefer the bone in or the...
I actually prefer the boneless, much like you just said, because you get it stuck in your teeth and you do, yeah. But I do the bones.
You know what impresses me?
Someone said
What?
boneless wings are for children.
Wow.
That is exactly what Sean would say.
I've watched people. It's a technique I've never mastered, but they'll take. Do you know there's two parts of the wing, right? There's the little tiny baby leg, which is not actually a leg, and then the part with the two bones.
Yeah.
Okay, the part with the two bones.
flat.
You can do something. The flat?
Yeah, it's called a
That's what
flat.
they're called.
Wow, he acted like
I
I was an
didn't know
idiot.
that.
You don't know
Did
because
you
you
see
only
that?
eat
He
boneless.
acted like I was an idiot.
I've never heard this
wow,
phrase
you need
before.
to apologize to me.
So I've seen people. They'll like do something to the end of it,
Yeah,
put it in their mouth,
and just
and what comes out is just the bones.
we did the exact same
Wow.
thing. Daria's gonna need to grab that.
Like, have you done this? Like you know what
Yeah.
to do.
Yes,
But see, I got a problem.
me and Jamie just showed you.
Do you do it too?
I just showed
we
you
literally
and
just
I
did
made
the
the
exact.
noise.
We both made the noise and did the thing.
Well, I don't know how to do it, but here's the next problem. The reason that there's so much left in the chicken wing is because there's nasty, like gristly, like not meat stuff on the
The
ends.
ligaments and stuff.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons I don't like the bone-in. Now, I don't mind the flats. I'll eat those. But I don't want like the actual drumsticks.
And so it's
The
cool.
drumsticks are the only ones I want.
My mother-in-law will take an actual chicken leg, like a drumstick, and when she's done, it's just the bone. There's the whole top part is not meat. I don't know what that is, but I'm not eating that.
Cartilage.
But you're doing that when you eat the flat. You're eating
No,
cartilage.
not really.
Well, when you say not really, that
It's not the same
reveals
as a
that it's-
drumstick.
But it's got. Look, Daria, tell her.
No, I think there's more actual meat on the flat than there is on like, the wings.
But you disagreed with me a moment ago. It's just like
No,
you're
I said I
reverse
like
to agreeing
drumsticks.
with me.
No, I like those. The reason I like them is because there's not as much of the cartilage and stuff.
You did say that. Rewind the tapes. I don't know why you're getting upset with us. So
I think you better move on to your next weird news.
Next weird news story comes from San Diego, California, home of our station manager, Josue Villa.
that's right.
The San Diego Zoo is asking visitors to stop showing gorillas their cell phones with videos on them.
Oh, no.
It's apparently becoming a problem at zoos across the country, including the world-famous San Diego Zoo. People are getting gorillas addicted to watching videos on phones and on iPads through glass enclosures.
Oh, poor guys.
Gorillas and humans share about 98% of DNA. Apparently, part of that DNA is
Liking
addicted
funny
to
videos.
TikToks.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, please stop showing our gorillas your videos on your phone. Meanwhile, I'm tempted now.
I knew you would be.
You would, yeah.
Do you think they have like a little gesture they do to swipe to the next one?
Probably. They use their fingers like we would.
And I actually like a good funny gorilla or monkey video.
Oh, yeah, they are funny.
Do you think they
They're
enjoy that?
Because they're smart, so they're really funny.
I don't know.
Does a gorilla
Maybe they
like
want to
watching
laugh at
gorilla-
us.
They want to watch people videos.
Yeah.
That's very meta.
Yeah, take your fail army into the zoo.
Final one. Did you know VR headsets are sending gamers to the hospital?
Oh, no.
And they're
I'd
running into
imagine
walls.
Yeah.
30% of the visits from VR headsets are for
Broken arms.
broken bones.
Yeah.
I get too scared. I've done a VR like once, maybe twice, and I get too scared that I stand still.
Listen, I got a kid who's addicted to his VR. He looks like he has run a marathon after playing 2 rounds of Gorilla Tag.
Uh-huh.
I've never done the full VR experience. I feel
Someday
like I'm
you can
doing
call
okay.
me. My coworkers laugh because every once in a while you'll see my son Asher in the back of me, like working, and I'm in a meeting, and he'll be back there doing his thing.
Yeah.
Aren't there safety measures in place to keep you from breaking your arm when you're doing VR?
No, you run right into stuff.
I don't think they have sensors to tell you when you're going to run into something.
They do like a health and safety warning, I think, at the beginning of stuff for that reason, so that
But-
they're not liable. But
I mean, wouldn't you, before you put on the VR headset, look around and go, oh, I should move the ottoman?
You'd think, but what people don't, and too, when you can't see, like you'll travel farther than you realize.
Mm-hmm.
or you don't think you're going to go anywhere, but then you get into the game, so you start moving around.
We have to announce that we've walked into the room because I've been hit by my son.
Yeah.
I went
I'll
to
be like,
Jamie's
I'm
house.
walking through.
I went to Jamie's house, and one of her sons was dripping with sweat from the VR.
Yeah,
dripping
Asher.
with sweat.
And he has like a raccoon
Yes.
ring around his face because it's like suctioned cup to his face.
my gosh.
So hardcore.
That's great.
I'm serious. Yeah.
I kind of want to try it now.
He stinks after playing it. Actually, Asher played bad in a baseball game because he had played the VR so hard that his shoulders and upper arms were sore. And his coach was like, no more VR on game days.
I like watching the funny videos of people like breaking their televisions and hitting a wall when they're playing VR.
He has not broken a television, but he has run into things.
Okay. Well, ER visits ticking up because of virtual reality. Just about 8:30. Time to take a quick break. We got more Follow-Up Friday. What do you want to talk about? 440-546-2255.
A walk in a cemetery is a sobering exercise. If I could do it all over again. Christian leaders share the most important lessons of their lives. The messages on gravestones are often revealing, sometimes tragic, but always thought-provoking. That said, how much thought have you given to your tombstone? Here's singer and songwriter Michael Card.
I like the one, I told you I was sick. I don't know. On my grandfather's, he was a guy I admired. This is Fred Brown, a servant of Christ. I guess that's good. I'm good with that.
What do you want on your tombstone? Well, that's the question we're asking of Christian leaders like author and radio host Harold Sala.
You know, for 15 years I did a television program, and I would ask my guests, how would you like to be remembered? Their responses were interesting. I have never really thought about that one, but I suppose I would want them to say, God is seldom early, but he's never late. But here lies a man who believed God, and God honored his belief. But let's hope that's a long ways away. Somebody said when you are lying in your casket and friends are standing there, what do you want them to say? And the guy responded, look, he's moving, he's moving. So let's hopefully that will be a long time in the future.
Here's Bible teacher Michael Easley.
You know, Vance Havner, I think, said it best, so I can't improve on Vance Havner, where he said, just a preacher. I think at the end of the day, we're just tools, we're just servants, we're just hands and feet to the gospel. And if I could be used and just know that I was faithful to the task.
Reflections from Michael Easley. This has been a production of Moody Radio, a ministry of Moody Bible Institute, based on the book, If I Could Do It All Over Again.
This is David Harms with the ministry India Partners, and I have walked through the red light districts of Mumbai, India numerous times, and trust me, it is dark. Young girls have no joy in their eyes because they feel they have no future, and they'll be stuck in the trade for the rest of their lives. But once they get into a safe house run by India Partners, well, just listen. That is God at work, which is why for the last year we've shared powerful stories of safety, rescue, and care happening through the India Partner Safe Houses. These girls are safe from harm, well cared for, and introduced to the transforming and healing love of Jesus. Learn more about the power of rescue and care in a safe house at indiapartners.org/Moody.
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
.836 on Moody Radio Cleveland, WCRF. It's Follow-Up Friday. Still time for you to throw in any topic you'd like. 440-546-2255. It's Lauren and Jaime Buxton's dream. Jamie's from City Mission. Thanks for coming in. that one of you would have a personal problem you would let them solve on the radio.
And how many times have we asked for this and nobody ever calls in? That should probably be a little bit telling about maybe who we are, Lauren.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe just make something up and ask for help.
Yeah.
Try that. Meanwhile, Ron and I, representing the more...
Jamie's the same age as you.
Right.
She's 2 years younger.
Wow, Lauren.
You already said it. I wasn't revealing
Yeah,
any
I know, but she
information.
just like threw it right out there. Like before you say Ron and you, Jamie is the same
No, I
age
just-
category.
Lauren.
Brian really likes to rag on me and Daria's age for some reason. So I'm just letting him know that
It's
there's
not-
someone else here of his age.
No, it's not ragging. It's...
Oh, is it?
I would like to impart generational wisdom.
Okay, you were like offended that I was calling an 8-year-old computer old. As if that was somehow a dig on you or something.
Well, it was a little bit.
I actually think he was more offended that you were saying it was old because it was from college. And you were offended by that.
Yeah.
I can't help when I graduated high school.
Yeah, I think
Brian.
our very existence offends Brian. So
I think I'm just misunderstood.
Ooh. Okay.
But no, I mean, the Bible talks about gray hair is a crown of glory, wisdom. You're supposed to honor age and wisdom and experience.
and you're not honoring our age. So got him.
Or lack
Got
of.
him real good.
Yeah. Must be all that life experience. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Millennials and Gen Z have a trend that Ron was concerned enough about that he sent me a note about it.
Okay.
Well, don't blame Ron.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Ron, you haven't done the bus yet? You haven't been in my back a whole lot today, so I'm forcing you behind me.
There's thump, 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 thump.
There's Millennials and Gen Z are doing something called quiet vacationing, and it needs to stop.
Sounds nice.
Quiet vacationing.
Sounds like a real treat.
I don't see any Xers on the list. No boomers. We're not doing this.
No, I
Boomers
hardly
don't
even
take
vacation.
vacations.
Loud vacation.
There's truth in that. You guys are working too much, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, there
That
is.
is what I'm saying.
It's a thing. I'm learning that from you guys. Fine. So it's all over the internet. Millennials and Gen Z are sneaking in time off work without taking PTO.
Oh, well.
The ruse takes a few fake meetings on a calendar and strategically timed emails to make your boss think you're working, but you're actually quiet vacationing.
That's called lying and stealing money from your company.
I
so.
wouldn't call that a trend. That's just being a dishonest and bad employee.
Yeah, you're stealing from your company. So
The article from Ron Eastwood. Listen to the paper.
Ron didn't say that it's right.
Quiet vacationing is all over the internet. Millennials and Gen Z are doing this.
Okay, but let's
It's
not act
news.
like being lazy and being a bad employee is exclusively a younger person problem. Throughout all of time, there have been people who slacked at work and found any way they could to get out of it to trick people so that their bosses would think they're working harder than they are.
Stop being right. It's annoying. I remember I worked at this tent rental company, and there was this one. Yeah, it was a terrible summer job. It was like the worst job I ever had.
Bad.
And this dude would find a way to go back into the stacks of tents and take a nap every day.
Yeah, see? Exactly.
But this is bad.
Yeah, you're stealing
We're
from your
not
company.
saying it's not. We're just not saying this is exclusively an us problem.
Well, but quiet vacationing is a Gen Z millennial problem.
It's
Because
just
they put a name
hashtag is
on
all
it.
it is.
Or they're actually talking about it. They're being honest about what they're doing.
Which is a bad idea because your boss will see that.
That's right.
Do you know any boomers or Xers who are on vacation pretending
No,
they're
because
not?
they're not talking about it.
I'm sure it
I don't
happens,
know.
though.
I don't know anybody who does that.
Jamie, help me.
I don't know.
No, this is
I have
wrong.
never heard of this. I don't know anybody who does that.
I was
It's
still
wrong.
waiting for like, what's the rest? Like it's just like
He just wants
they're
to be
faking
rude.
from home.
No,
That-
they're like actually going on vacation.
Oh, so they're on vacation and
Not
lying about it.
Yeah, and they're like having strategically sent emails at, boy, Lauren sure is working hard today, you know?
Did you think we were going to agree with this?
No, I'm just like, I thought you'd go, yeah, we need to work on that as a generation.
Oh. I've never heard anyone doing that.
That is not a generational issue. That's a human issue.
I didn't think you would like
My
it.
friends-
I just,
I've
yeah,
never
I'm
heard
gonna
my friends
agree
doing
with
that.
them, even as an old person in the room. Since you,
That's right.
Lauren actually pointed it out.
Yeah.
I think, this is a post-COVID thing. It's a human issue. There's plenty of people doing this nonsense.
don't do that.
The only thing that makes
It's
us
naughty.
unique is they found a way to be really tech savvy about it.
Yeah.
It's naughty. Stop
Very,
that.
very naughty.
Great way to lose your job. Don't do this.
Stop it. It's bad. By the way, in a good news sense, you guys been watching the Olympics?
Yes.
So much.
A lot.
Favorite
Not at
events
all.
so far? Anyone?
I mean,
I've
love
been-
all gymnastics.
Yeah, I love all the gymnastics. I've been really enjoying all the track and field stuff, like the 400 and the 200
Yeah.
and the.
Yeah, I watched
that
the
stuff.
4x100 yesterday. Whoa, like the baton thing. It's incredible.
Pretty intense.
I feel like the best overall athletes are the gymnasts.
Well, yeah, because they have to be like strong and also like, I don't know the
Petite.
word, like poised.
Yeah.
There's so many different types of things they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, like you might be able to run as the fastest man in the world, but you might not be able to do a cartwheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
It might not be that.
Do you know the one that's
physically
been
strong.
stressing me out? Have you guys seen like the speed rock wall climbing?
Yes, they go. Jamie, they go so fast.
Is that
They
new?
do.
like little spiders.
But
It's very scary.
are they, how much tension is on that rope is what I want to know. Because I feel like,
They got a buddy pulling them up there.
well, I know that they don't do that. Like, I know that's not what it is. Like, I know there's skill to this.
Yes.
But it doesn't look like they're
it
even like
doesn't.
having to
No.
use their hands at all. So
It looks like they're
I
just.
question the amount of
know.
tension on the rope.
Mm.
Is it, yeah.
There was one guy did like 4 seconds
Yeah,
or something,
it's
and
a
it was
world
like
record.
terrifying. I've been watching pole vaulting. Very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if my kid suggested they were going to learn how to do that, I'd be like, no. I mean, it just seems so dangerous.
But it looks very fun.
Yeah.
I've seen so
Like
many fail
launched into
videos
the air.
of pole vaulting that I know I would be that guy.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for you.
I could
Yeah,
never.
That one's incredible.
But
pole
it's
vaulting.
crazy.
The swimming, I love it all. I've actually been super annoying. Like,
I think
Sean will like switch on to a Guardians game, and I'm like, we can watch the Guardians anytime. And I love baseball. But I'm like,
Olympics.
it's Olympics time
That's
right,
right.
now. We don't. We'll watch
Breaking
the
is
Olympics.
tomorrow. Breaking is tomorrow.
Is
maybe
it tomorrow?
maybe today too.
I thought today.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now, is there one that you just don't watch? You're like, I'm not watching this.
No, I mean, there are reasons to change to the other Olympic channel.
Yeah, like the Peacock app has this thing I discovered where it'll put up 4 different events in split screens.
Mm.
You watch for a minute, decide which one you like, and click on that. It'll take you right there. Pretty cool.
I don't think we have the Peacock app, but we switched from whatever to, is it USA?
I don't know. I have the Peacock app. I don't
Well,
have to worry about
we
that.
switched to USA last night, and I will say their commentators are a little less underwhelming than the NBC or whatever.
Yeah. Well, did you know that every 90 minutes you burn 540 calories just watching the Olympics?
As opposed to a regular, like,
No,
Right.
just total. That's what you're doing.
but I mean, like, if I'm watching
Oh,
Seinfeld, same caloric.
Yeah. How's that compared to like just sitting and doing nothing?
Yeah.
Right.
I am not in charge of these statistics. This is what I'm telling you.
I'm just wondering, like,
you're
is the Olympic statistics more because you get like excited?
Yes,
Exactly.
And it all depends on how invested you are. A 176-pound football fan who fidgets, jumps, and shouts and punches in the air for 75% of a 90-minute game can burn the equivalent of a 45-minute run. But the Olympics, we're all into it. We're like, it's stressful. We're doing the thing. We're burning.
Yeah.
We're working out, watching athletes.
Oh yeah.
This is the point. You're supposed to be excited about it.
I actively use that time to sit. So
But you're burning calories, Lauren. Watching
I don't know that I am.
Simone
sure about
Biles do
that.
flips, you're burning calories.
in my heart, I am.
I mean, no matter what you're doing, there's just a baseline for you're burning so many calories just by existing.
True.
Well, you guys are a wet blanket on everything today. Thanks a lot. Well, hey,
4-1. So
let's see if you can throw a wet blanket on this. The Renew Women's Conference is coming up very soon. In fact, it's coming up on September 7th at Canton Baptist Temple, featuring, I don't know, Dr. Julie Slattery, Taylor James, and Glenna Marshall, and food and doilies and crying.
no
and the whole-
doilies.
No.
Well, the Renew Women's Conference is coming up, and we have not 1 pair of registrations, but 2 pairs of registrations.
Woohoo!
That was so good.
Ladies,
was good.
Daria, Lauren, would you like to throw a wet blanket on that?
No, because I'm the one that told you to do it. So
When it's her idea, it's fun.
It's been her idea. It was on the sheets from Go Time this morning.
Yeah, she held up a sign that said giveaway
I've been saying it
registrations now.
every single break. I've been saying it every single break, and it is now 45.
Underline.
So
I actually said it during the last break, too.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm just a fill
Squirrel.
in. Squirrel.
We have 2 pairs of registrations we're going to give away. 2 callers number, Jaime Buxton.
2 and 7.
Caller number 2, caller number 7,
That's
right
a lot
now
of callers.
will win a pair of registrations to Renew Women's Conference. 440-546-2255. 440-546-2255. Call now.
Her name is Jenny, and maybe like you, she and her husband got tired of their health care getting more and more expensive, so they did it. They went with MediShare.
We signed on with MediShare in March, had a really great experience. It was super easy to get going with them. And then in October of that same year, we found out that I had stage 3 breast cancer.
We were put at ease with MediShare, guiding us and walking with us and saying that they were going to be praying for us.
It's very intentional how they try to bless people when they know this is one of the hardest things that they're going through.
They and their 4 kids thank the Lord, not only for her healing and how he provided for them, but she says it makes her emotional just realizing how she gets to pay it forward.
What we put towards MediShare is going to be blessing another mom, and they're going to show up for her the way that they showed up for me.
You save a lot, and you're part of something really, really good. Call now. It's 877-58-BIBLE. That's 877-58-BIBLE. 877-58-BIBLE.
Moody Radio is thankful for support for businesses across the country, like Fellowship Home Loans. Whether purchasing or refinancing a home, Mike and Brian walk hand in hand with clients through the whole process. You can learn more about their approach to mortgage lending at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3. Mornings with Brian. Moody Radio Cleveland. 103.3 at 6 to 9 a.m.
8:51 on Moody Radio Cleveland. We were giving away a pair of registrations for the Renew Women's Conference.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he had the day off, but the drummer, can you wake him up? And we got to do a big build up here, Ron. The drummer thought he was going to be able to just
Yes, he
today.
did.
He wouldn't have to
Get
do
back
anything.
in here.
Daria's going to give us the names of the winners.
Congratulations to Lori and Carl.
Woo! You each are the proud owners of complimentary pairs of registrations to the Renew Women's Conference coming up on September 7th at Canton Baptist Temple. Speakers include Taylor James and Glenna Marshall and the Dr. Julie Slattery.
Mm-hmm.
Look
Also,
out.
special appearance by That Girl.
Yes. In fact,
That girl?
Oh, you don't know about this?
No.
Ron, you said, in fact, what? Well, we'll explain in a minute.
She's unimpressed.
That's one of their theme songs from AI. Don't you have another one, Ron?
Oh. Oh, even Daria is dancing.
Very Lizzie McGuire. We had a lot of fun when Brian was out. We played those every break.
So, for those who don't know, including Jaime Buxton, can you explain why you and Daria collectively are referred to as That Girl?
Yes, often, at least every other week, someone just says, whoever that girl is, or that girl said, or they'll say, Daria, you said this, and actually I said it, or they say, Lauren, you said this, and Daria said it. We got an email once that said, whoever that girl is that you have on. Well, there's two of us, so who said it? People don't know that we're different people.
That girl.
So
We are
just
That
refer
Girl.
to them
It's a little
collectively
sad.
as That Girl.
It's fine.
We took it from
It's
a
fine.
sad
It's a joke now.
to a happy. Yeah, it's fun. And so it sounds like we have a really cool band that's opening up and emceeing the whole event. We have some cool people doing it. We're calling them That Girl, but it's
That Girl.
But it's Lauren and Daria.
With the silent S in parentheses.
And I believe are we ready to announce there's going to be a panel discussion?
Yeah, I don't know if we're ready to announce it yet. I don't have the official title yet, but we have the idea. We know what we're talking about.
And it wasn't a bunch of old men that came together and came up with this. There was a group of women.
Me, Daria, and Kelly.
I got to observe.
Yes, you were
on
there.
email as
you were there.
You all shared ideas and really narrowed it down. You found consensus quickly on a concept that's going to connect to all women.
Yep.
Deeply, I think.
I hope so.
And it'll be part of a panel discussion. Daria's going to lead it, and we're going to have all the speakers on it.
Yes.
Are you on the panel?
I don't think so, but I'm there.
I'm there too. Can I be on
People
the panel?
hear enough.
You
from
cannot
me
be on the
often,
panel.
So. No.
Why can't
The
I?
reason I'm leading the panel is because we didn't want you there.
But I could be on the panel.
No, you can't.
That girl's getting sassy.
We better use these at the event.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to. This walk-up songs.
Lauren's got the choreography.
She does.
Would you do that at the event too?
Absolutely not.
Well, it's on YouTube. We could play it up on the screen.
Sure, you could. That's just more work for Daria to do.
Oh.
I already have multiple things written down I need to pull out today. What are you trying to do to me?
Well, you may not win the registrations, but you sure can buy your registration before it's too late to the Renew Women's Conference.
That's
This
right.
thing's going to fill up. That Girl will be there. Taylor James, Glenna Marshall,
Brian will
Dr.
be there.
Julie Slattery. I'll be there, although clearly I'll be somewhere in a corner facing it.
No, you'll be giving
Being
away
punished.
swag at the table.
Am I allowed to speak to people?
Yes.
We'll allow it.
For more information, just text the word renew to us at 440-546-2255. Text renew to 440-546-2255. We'll send you back a link where you can buy your registrations now, get your women's group together at church, get your whole family of ladies together, and you could join us at the event. We'd love to see you September 7th, Canton Baptist Temple. Here's the Friday song. We're almost done.
Are you ready? It's almost time. Oh, he's coming back, y'all, like a thief in the night. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, now it may be morning, night or noon. I don't know, but it's gonna be soon. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? And when we all get to heaven, that's the day when we'll be shouting. Oh, that's the day when that we're gonna be so glad. Oh, we were ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Listen, do you know him as your King, Lord and Savior of everything? Are you ready? 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 When we all get up to heaven, that's the day when we'll all be shouting, 'cause we'll be so glad, oh so glad we were ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't wait for that day. No more trouble, it's all gone away. I can't wait to see my Savior's face. Are you ready? Are you ready? Would your soul be lost if he came back today? Oh, got my bags all ready, 'cause I don't wanna be on that day, I just wanna be ready on that day. Oh, be ready. Oh, be ready. Oh, be ready. And oh, be ready. Oh, be ready. Oh, be ready. Oh, when it cracks the sky. Will we meet in the great by and by? I like that.
That does it for another week of the show, Mornings with Brian, WCRF. Special thanks to the fabulous, the lovely Jaime Buxton.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's from City Mission. How can people learn more about City Mission? Because who wouldn't want to hang out there or donate there after hearing you?
Please go to thecitymission.org.
thecitymission.org.
Correct.
And could people go there and go, excuse me, I'd like to meet Jaime?
Sure, you can do that. I don't know in which venue, I guess. You can figure that out. Somewhere on there, you can figure that out.
You're the best, Jaime Buxton.
I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me be here.
We got to hang out with her twice this week.
I know. Big week.
It's pretty special. Meanwhile, Scott Lessing is wondering why I'm gone every time he's here.
Well, there's people he likes more than others, Scott.
All right, we got